This is not a drill. Warning. Please evacuate. This is not a drill. Warning. 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 Warning.
I'ma knock at your door before I hit you like Jingle. Dump it down. You'll be about to get.
Shapes in the absence of clouds, like shadow painting. I was wrong about all the things that they told me. Stay up late while we learn to be loud. Watch the colors fading. I was born to make change in places we can't see. I can't see your head Drawing shapes in the absence of clouds, like shadow painting. I was wrong about all the things that they told me. Stay up late while we learn to be loud. Watch the colors fade in. I was born to make change in places we can't see. I can't but see your hand in her hand. No, I can't believe I'm drowning on dry land. And I won't stop, won't stop. And I won't stop, won't stop. And I won't stop, won't stop. Can't hold me down. And I won't stop, won't stop. And I
I wish you stayed the same. I know way too many thoughts. I wish you stayed the same. I know way too many thoughts. I got way too many thoughts in my brain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Platinum Scouting Grounds here at BOL. I am Bickle here today, and I'm joined by the one and only Bully. Bully, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Usually I'd give a bit more of an intro, but Dom and Fallen's team both decided they're going to get right into the action as we are already into draft. Dom's side will be blue, and Fallen will be on the red. We already see Hecarim and Kane coming out from Dom's bands, whereas GP and Twitch will be removed by Fallen.
Well, dog was eating something. Had to.
You're good, man.
Had
Dom,
to say
again,
it.
removing that Viego, so they're very much targeting the jungler on the side of Fallen's side, it seems.
Yeah. Man, those jungle bands are just coming in crazy. They just taking out all the carry junglers.
Definitely. Viego, Hecarim, and Kane, all strong carry picks, as you had mentioned. Dom starting off with that Varus pick. Technically could be flexed to a mid lane as an AP burst mage, but usually seen as kind of that safe 80 carry bot side that has poke potential and a lethality build, or more carry focused in the on-hit attack speed.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume they're gonna go on hit attack speed. It's a lot of CC. It can create a lot of havoc in team fights, especially because it's a ADC that has a ton of CC. What else is better?
Exactly. ADCs with CC are not something we usually see, and Fallen, seeing how much they're already trying to target and pinch the jungle pool, want to get their jungle picked up pretty early, so they're going to go for the Nocturne. A bit of dive potential, and they're going to respond with an 80 carry of their own. It's looking like it's going to be that Caitlyn, giving them that extra range and push power down bot side, but it's actually going to be the Ezreal, actually. So playing it very safe, maybe looking to play a weak side bot laner to focus top side.
Yeah, maybe they're aiming to pick a Yuumi on R3. Of course, Yuumi is a disgusting champion.
Don't put us on. Don't bring that upon us. Nobody wishes.
Needs
for
to
you,
be
mate.
deleted.
Please delete that
The game.
champion. Nothing would make me happier.
But think
already-
about it. Think about their comp right there. Nocturne Ezreal with a Yuumi.
No.
That's-
just no. Just no. Even though it sounds great for them, just no because.
So, I mean, it sounds pretty good.
It does. Dom, meanwhile, responding with the Aatrox Sejuani for that top jungle. Aatrox, of course, is getting hit with some nerfs come 13-1, but we are still on the last day before that nerf comes in. So Aatrox still very much one of the premier top laners. Going to be responded by the Malphite, though. Just that rock top side. And there's the Yuumi ban. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, they had to. There's no way they had to. They could leave that up, but it does get responded. But Lulu and Seraphine, just enchanters being taken out of the pool. Then there's a Karma, just top it off. So I wonder what they're
Both
gonna
80
decide with this
carries
R4.
have that ability to kind of be paired up with a really strong enchanter to enhance themselves. So taking that away, 4 enchanters gone in this side. Jungle was the focus early, with both sides still looking for their mid laners and their supports right now. So we'll have to see what comes out. It will be the Renata Glass coming out for Fallen. They're actually mid lane coming in. Possible response here, some very nice ultimates to steal away.
Yeah,
If they do end up going for the Silas. I mean,
that
Renata
that
ulti's
is
great.
a
Malphite
nasty
ulti,
pick.
though, that's perfect.
Yeah, and of course I would imagine it's actually. This could be interesting of how they play this. They could be flexing a bunch. I don't think they are, but ooh, the Blitzcrank. Hey,
There's
everyone
your
knows I
pick
love my
potential.
Blitzcrank.
Yep. Following up great with that Varus CC coming out of that ulti. And Blitzcrank just so much CC on his own, pick potential available. Dom really is a strong CC loaded comp. Silas focusing on that AP damage coming out mid. Well-rounded. We expect things to kind of go as an Aatrox top, Sejuani jungle, Silas mid, but as you mentioned, there is a bit of flexibility there, and it's going to be the Vex as the final pick coming out for Fallen, coming into
Disgusting.
that mid lane.
Yeah, Vex for Silas is a pretty solid matchup. Silas can barely, never go in if Vex is just auto CSing with her autos, mostly because it's an instant fear if Silas ever tries to go aggressive. But if Vex uses any ability to try to CS, it could pave the way for Silas to make an aggressive attempt at her life. But the one thing that is kind of interesting to me, the Blitzcrank pick definitely is going to look to just target the Renata this entire game. But because the problem is, it's going to be super hard to hit the Ezreal because, the buffering, the E is able to survive pretty easily. Nocturne, Spell Shield, Malphite is a tank, and then Vex should be playing at a decently far range, but eventually the Vex should be getting a Zanya, so the kill pressure is there, but then later in the game it's not. So it has to be an early game snowball opportunity. But then again, you do have a ton of pick potential with the Varus, Sejuani, and just a ton of damage on top of the Aatrox Silas and Varus again.
Yep. As you mentioned, Blitzcrank really going to be looking to focus in on that Renata Glass. So we're going to be focusing a lot on that Varus Blitz bot lane, trying to get that early prio into an Ezreal who may be threatened to be pushed in, especially come early game. Come late game, though, that's when things get very interesting. We mentioned how Dom's side has a lot of CC up front between the Aatrox, Sejuani. Honestly, everybody brings a bit of CC to the side, whereas Fallen's really relying on engaging from either that Vex personal space off of her flying in with that Shadow Surge, or much more likely, a good old Unstoppable Force. As it seems like everybody's getting into order for game here, we should be heading in rather soon to our in-client draft to double check to make sure we see where everything is going. We'll have to just wait and see. So, Bully, tell me, what lane do you think we're going to see the most early action?
Early action? I mean, top lane is going to be pretty difficult to play if you're a Malphite, especially against an Aatrox. But in terms of aggressive plays from the junglers, I think it's going to be mid. That mid, for both sides, have a really, really strong chance of snowballing because of, just the ability to roam and make impact with the Vex ultimate. Silas getting some major ultimates and just roaming himself. So it's definitely that mid play for the junglers.
Yeah, definitely. Silas really going to be happy to steal away that paranoia anytime he can from Nocturne, as it makes his roams and dives even more deadly in the sense that he has much more range from it. Whereas usually, as you mentioned, he is under threat mid lane. from Vex is anytime he really goes for that abscond abduct, he's going to be under threat from the Doom and Gloom passive to get a bit more damage or just feared away by a good personal space.
Yeah, and
We'll really have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, a big thing is like whenever Silas decides to roam, let's say he roams top, he has a Malphite ult to steal. Let's say he doesn't want to steal it, instead takes a Vex R. He could literally use the Vex R and snipe someone from downtown and is able to basically get into the fight without them even knowing. If he goes bot, taking the Renata ult, if they're behind it's gonna be just deadly again. There's so many options for Silas to make these roaming plays.
Definitely. Fallen has so many of those ults that can be really team fight deciding. So Silas is going to love having options and all that. Usually in a front-back 5v5, you look at Renata ulti to possibly change the game. Both sides have options with that now, have the ability to use that. I think the Silas pick for Codus here fits in so nicely for what Dom is looking to do.
It's definitely going to be an interesting game. It's gonna come down to who makes the plays first, or in the early game. It's definitely easier to play off these fights if you're basically Dom's team because they just play off picks at the beginning. You look for a pick, you get the kill. Fallen's team, there's a lot of crucial ultimates. If they miss, it's gonna be disastrous, right? But if they hit, it's gonna be that wombo combo like glory team fight. But yeah, definitely a big thing to know is during like Dragon's fights, if you know some of these major ults down, if the Renata ult is down or the Malphite ult is down, it's going to be very difficult for Fallen's team to beat Dom's team in the skirmish, especially with the amount of pick potential they have. So they just got to keep those timers in check, making sure they don't use their major abilities at the wrong time, and play it slowly because you don't want to get caught out if you're the Vex or one of these or the Ezreal because your team is heavily dependent on you.
Absolutely, really reliant on those two to pump out the damage, as you said. Nocturne going to be that threat diving onto the enemies, but as you mentioned, so much CC, he's not going to want to go in on his own. Varus with a good chains of corruption can really lock down anybody who's trying to get in on him, and that's what Dom brings with so much CC and pick potential. And for that reason, I kind of do favor the comp Dom's team is put together here, so that's who I'm going to go with for this game today. What about you, Bullet?
In terms of Nocturne, of course Nocturne is going to be looking for the Varus. It's going to be up to, I'm going to say it's Diske?
Sounds about right.
The Blitzcrank player, to basically sit on top of the Varus whenever he's not going for a cheeky hook. If he's plays a little bit too aggressive and he is separated from his Varus, then that Varus is easy pickings. Especially because Sejuani wants to like go in, Silas wants to go in, and Aatrox wants to go in. It's gonna leave your ADC very vulnerable. So they need to have just a game sense of making sure that they don't separate too much during these fights, or it could turn out poorly for them.
Very much so, and with everything locked in, it seems like we aren't seeing any crazy flexes around. We're still seeing Aatrox top, Silas mid, Sejuani jungle. For now, still got 10 seconds for that all to change, but it does look like we're on a relatively safe course in terms of expectations. And this is going to be our first glimpse here into the preseason patch that is about to become, well, ranked tomorrow. So it'll be really interesting to see how things play out and how everything comes together. And of course, as this draft finishes out, we are going to head into our spectator delay, but we will be right back with this game between Doms and Fallen squads here at the Platinum Scouting Grounds of BOL. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our game here at Platinum Scouting Grounds, and usually we give you a slight intro, but it looks like Blue Side's already stacking up, going for that invade top side, looking to possibly get a pick off of Diske's Blitzcrank. We're going to see if the Rocket Grab can find anything. Magikarp could be in trouble here.
He's gonna go for the
And
flash. You have
they're
to.
walking.
You're a Blitzcrank.
They're walking.
You have
They're
X
slowly
Flash.
walking.
Man.
And disappointment.
Man. Come on, Blitzcrank.
Yeah, usually whenever you see Blitzcrank there, he's gonna flash and go for it.
Yeah.
You got
you,
it. It's the
you
rule
go
of
for the trade
Blitzcrank.
flash. It's like the best play, especially because you're an Aatrox versus a Malphite. Let's see if he actually has Hex Flash. He probably does. He definitely does. He has Glacier.
Yeah, he has Hex Flash.
Yeah.
That's
so, and Hex Flash, you could use it every 15 seconds. It's amazing, right? And if you take the Flash out of the Malphite against an Aatrox, not just that, the Malphite has Ignite. So now you'd be heavily crippling the top side of the map for a good bit of the early game here. But unfortunately, I don't think he wanted it to be embarrassed on stream, so he decided not to go for it.
playing it safe, which can sometimes be the smart move, but it's not the fun move, which is what we care about.
True.
As you mentioned, Magikarp on that Malphite is running Arcane Comet with that Ignite. What are your thoughts on this?
Yep. Ooh. Looks like quick trades going in mid lane, and you know, that was 9 gold for Codis. That's just the first strike diff.
Yep, first strike diff means they're already winning, means game's over.
Yep.
Yusuke hiding in these bushes, looking to play around it, possibly hit that pick, as we mentioned, off that Rocket Grab early. Of course, going to be a lot more effective once he has the Power Fist level 2. We're going to have to wait and see, though. Both supports did go for that Relic Shield, so they are going to be able to easily proc it.
Oh,
Cardiac Sensor gets the early level 2.
Yeah, so the level 2 first does not go inside of the Blitzcrank spot lane, which means we don't see aggressive play.
I'm looking at a bit of trading here mid lane. Coda's going in, not able to lay in the chain, so Easy's just going to trade it back nice and easy.
Yeah, I think, interesting enough, I'm pretty sure usually if you're playing Vex, I'm pretty sure what you go is EW early on because of just how much potential you have. But looks like he's opted to go for his Q second or first.
Of course, now level 3 doesn't matter as much, but hold on, Zebra looking up here at Magikarp, have us pushed out. D1 lands the chains, pulls in. Big combo off that Darkened Blade, dashes in with the Arctic Assault. Winter's Wrath will finish it off. First Blood going over to PC Zebra on the Sejuani.
And not just that, look at this wave being piled up here. Nocto will have to try to catch this wave. Unfortunately, it will not go to Magikarp, and it's just a lot of CS missed.
Yeah, and there's the problem with not having that teleport, as we mentioned. Did burn the flash there, but did not manage to get out. So down flash, no TP, only Ignite left. Magikarp's going to have a rough time in this lane.
That's a lot of damage coming out from Easy. This does feel really good for Vex against the Sylas. The Sylas pick was 100% looking for like the mid to late game because of the amount of value he gets from his ultimate. But look at mid, that's going to be
out the flash mid here, though. Good plays all around by Zebra so far. Able to get a flash top and a flash mid to help out his laners. Codis, as you mentioned, really playing for that mid to late game where he's going to be able to have that hijack off of some very key ultimates come team fights. Right now, Easy has a very nice time in laning phase. Just able to poke out with that Mistral Bolt very nicely.
Yep. Codis actually did opt to go for the Ignite as well, so he's not able to get back in time for this cannon wave. He'll miss a few minions, but you know, Sylas, it feels pretty good with TP, but so any poke is gonna create some massive pressure.
Right now, Magikarp just shoving in this top lane wave. D1 Rat doing his best to just hold it. Did manage to back and walk back to the lane, save that TP, so he does have double longswords on himself now to just that cloth armor of Magikarp.
Yeah. So far, we haven't seen a lot of action in spot lane. Both teams are just farming. Ezreal looks like he has a pretty solid farm, almost perfect. But D1 Rat just feels so strong right now, especially being a little bit up in CS and up in XP. So if you're level 0 Magikarp, you're not feeling too hot, especially because you just came back to lane and almost out of mana.
Yeah, Aatrox always has that kill potential with this Darkened Blade. So much damage, especially ever ticking closer to that level 6 mark, getting himself the World Ender. We'll definitely have to keep an eye out to see what's ending up here. As we do see, look who's coming back top. If it ain't Zebra. And oh, Magikarp, no, pulled in by the Infernal Change into the Darkened Blades. Auto comes out, and that's another kill going off of Magikarp, this time onto D1 Rat. Magikarp's not having a fun game.
Yeah, add insult to injury. That was also level 0's Magikarp's Ignite. So another summoner burned. Won't have a lot of kill pressure. It didn't have a lot of kill pressure in the first place. And now without that Ignite, you'd think that D1 Rat is just going to go full aggro whenever he gets a chance.
Absolutely. He's gone back to base. D1 Rat picked up the serrated Dirk. That means this trading is going to be even harder. Magikarp does have that Glacial Buckler. Oh, comes in, lands on the Gashki, forces out the Flash, the Arcane Shift. And that, my friend, is why you pick Ezreal.
Yeah, it was able to basically buffer the... It looks like it actually buffered the Power Fist, which I don't really see that often, because you still look like you get knocked up, but I don't think Jesse actually got knocked up there, so... It's pretty interesting.
It didn't look like it. It looks like he managed to make it out of dodge, just had that Arcane Shift ready to go, and before D-Skay could pop that Power Fist, as you mentioned, just managed to Arcane Shift back over the wall like nothing even happened.
Yeah, and, you know, back to the farming game, bot lane. Both even in CS and the, you know... Oh!
Paranoia, though, comes in mid lane with the Shadow Surge as well. There's Flash out of Codus. He does manage to make it out. Naito does burn out that Ignite, but it's not enough.
Oh, Magikarp, you gotta be careful, man.
Yeah,
with D1 Rat's level 6.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Yeah, but that was a decent attempt mid. Unfortunately, that was both Naito's and Easy's ultimate. They do get the flash out, but that ultimate will
God,
be down
Magikarp, no. There's the World Ender. Darker Blade coming out, not going to be enough. Hits cooldown, and there is Naito there to bail out his top laner. We saw Rat had his Conqueror stack. This is going to force Magikarp back to base again with no teleport, as we mentioned. And meanwhile, Zebra sees Naito topside. It means it's a free Hextech Dragon for them to start this game.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because of the priority they have in bot lane is the only thing they have. Easy has full priority mid. So at least they knew Naito was in topside, so they had full confidence they could do it. But you can't disregard Easy's damage. If Easy was able to spot out Sejuani on that dragon, it could have been a dead Sejuani.
Absolutely, as this game goes on. As you mentioned, the mid prio there could have been efficient, but with the fact that Naito was topside, not much was going to come out of it. Both junglers are going for just more clearing now. Sejuani picks up that Sheen, so it looks like it's going to be the Frozen Gauntlet. But topside, oh no, Magikarp, run! You can't fight two of them again! As D-Skay with a great roam topside. D1 Rat, 2-0-1, 8 minutes into this game. Oh dear God, poor Magikarp.
Yeah, that's just straight bullying right there. It was just basically a farm by the bot, and, you know, just this guy just was like, you know what? I'm going top. I don't like this anymore.
Yep. And it looks like bot side has managed to crash this underway, but Joski just going to play it safe under tower, try and farm out with that piercing arrow, just get the cannon, which is what matters most of all.
Yeah.
So he's just happy there. Let's Grant going to try on Naito, but just hooks a Raptor instead.
At the same time, the Rift was just taken by Zebra, so a lot of objective control right now for the side of Team Dom. Unfortunately, Suzuki is just playing weak side, just trying to get anything can under tower, and he's keeping up with CS, which is
doing his best while D-Skay just goes around, tries to make an impact on the map. We did see Easy go for that Shadow Surge mid. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect onto Codus, so no real play going to be happening here. And it'll always be interesting to see how things go. But topside, look at this. Rat has TP'd back to lane, and he has a finished Eclipse already. Not even 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, if you're level 0 Magikarp, you just got to get out of dodge.
No, there's half his health already.
Yeah, it's pretty much you have to sit under tower. It has to be stop the bleeding angle right now.
There's the cleanse coming out, forced out from that chain of corruption. And it looks like Ashki's just going to walk away. Ultimate for cleanse. Josuke's happy with that.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
no.
Magikarp, no! Unstoppable Force over the wall gets him out, or else he would have eaten another Darkened Blade and likely felt another end of his life come in.
Yep, and that's the problem with playing against an Aatrox. The Aatrox can snowball so easily. If you get behind this lane, especially because you're going Ignite, it almost feels impossible to get any CS at all.
Yeah, very much so. Magikarp in a very rough situation right now. Really just needs to get whatever he can to survive. See that he has that Glacial Buckler alongside a double cloth armor. It seems like he's rushing that Frozen Heart as fast as possible. Just trying to get some extra armor on his hands, but really, he's already so far behind. D1 Rat can do whatever he wants, to be honest.
On the bright side, the tower or the wave did crash on the tower, so Magikarp should be able to get some of this. Oh, well, the tower
maybe.
says no.
Cardiac Sensor just trying to shove that wave further under, get a little bit of poke on the Josuke with that loyalty program. And
Disuke
has been on bot side.
Hasn't been bot side for like 3 minutes. I think Disuke is just playing secondary
Oh,
jungler.
he's leaving. We spoke too soon. He was there, said hi to Josuke, and he left.
He was like, "You doing good? All right, sick."
We just
I'm gonna go
incoming
mid.
in mid lane. In comes the Blitzcrank, runs in, flash in. There's the Rocket Fist, pulls him in off the knockup from the Power Fist, and is able to take him down. But Naito comes in, is
he does go
in
down.
The end. The Ignite takes down Disuke, and that is a 2-for-1 going over to blue, as Naito and Easy will fall, as Zebra was mid lane to follow up on that 2v2.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Easy right there, they didn't see the Blitzcrank coming because they have the river warded, but it's the bottom bush. And so Blitzcrank just walked all the way around, just went behind, and was able to not only get the flash, but just get the kill as well.
Great setup there. There's the Herald drop mid lane. Of course, ever since last season, Herald not doing as much, so they may have thought they would have gotten the entire tower here. Instead, it's a little bit of extra autos coming in. They do drop that mid lane tower before plates even finish. That is massive for the side of blue, and especially Kodas, who's really opened up now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, but with Shizuki being bot side by himself for a good 5 minutes, I feel like there should have been some kind of attempt to just punish him under tower.
Yeah, you can't leave Varus on his own to just sit there. Disuke, you're kind of in the middle of 4 people, buddy. You may be in trouble here. There, Easy gets that Ignite coming in. There's the Power Fist, knocks him up. He's just in the middle of 3. Disuke is going to fall here. Easy finishes off with the personal space.
Yeah, and it's finally the punish that they were waiting for. They were able to catch him in the river with his pants on his ankles.
Meanwhile, topside, Rat just doing his thing. Up 60 CS on Magikarp right now. He's dropped 3 plates already, but because of that pick on a Disuke, they do manage to take down this Cloud Drake for their own, and we're heading to an Infernal Rift here. Both teams tied 1-1 in Dragons. Everybody's back on the map. We'll see how things break down. Come on out.
Yeah, the good thing for Team Fallen, their team can revolve around getting the major team fights. They have a lot of damage. If everything goes well, they could wombo combo kill 3 people and
oh no, Kodas, don't do this. Kodas is topside. Magikarp's been through enough.
He's gonna uh-oh.
I don't think the tower's gonna help you much, Magikarp. There's the stolen ultimate. In comes the Unstoppable Force, and the stolen Unstoppable Force. Rat gets another kill to bot side. Flash Handshake, though, does not get the Rocket Grab pull, and in comes Naito bot side, and that's 2 down in response. The play comes out topside by blue, but it's responded down red as Easy and Naito come flying in with some ultimates to take down 2 and pressure this bot lane tower.
Yeah, and that's why it's so satisfactory, just like going bot side. It's you get 2 kills instead of 1 for your ultimates, and that's exactly what happened. It was a double roam by Naito. Well, Naito's jungle, but Easy roaming down, was able to hit their ultimates, was able to turn out the lights, and 2 kills immediately go into the pockets of Team Fallen. That's exactly what they needed to do early on, and they finally decided to take that chance. But a lot of gold going to the pockets of people that actually need it.
Very much so. Like you mentioned, when we saw Disuke roaming on that Blitzcrank so much, we were expecting kind of that bot dive early. But hey, better eventually rather than nothing. So good to happen. But Zebra already back on the map with Disuke. Looks like they're just going to make their way over the Herald and take the second Herald of the game. Means that is both Heralds of this game going over to blue.
Yeah, and cardiac
Disuke
sensor
wants
almost had
blood.
a heart attack.
It really has felt like so far this game for Red has been played around Naito's paranoia. When that's up, they've been looking to make plays. When it hasn't, they're trying to play back safe. And unfortunately for Magikarp, he's just being punished repeatedly by the entire top side. And Disuke. Basically, everybody but Josuke's been responsible for his death so far.
Yeah, if we actually look at the gold difference, all that gold difference is in top side, right? So 3K gold lead for the Aatrox over the Malphite, and
Bot
there's
side,
basically-
Paranoia
Oh!
comes in, dives in, pops that unspeakable horrors. In comes Vex, lands that personal space into Mistral Bolt for the fear, and is able to take down Codis. It's another kill down bot side.
That's exactly what they're just wanting to do, right? They're trying to make sure that the split push never works for them. They just pick off the person in the side lane, and oh,
Oh, nope. No jungle for you.
The juke. But yeah, it's probably the fastest kills you ever see, and especially if Codis looks to side lane, it's gonna be pretty bad. But if they're able to catch D1 Rat in the side lane by themselves with the Vex Nocturne combo, they could get that 450 gold bounty, and this game is basically even at that point.
They better layer that CC right, because I'm not sure a 2v1 is enough to take down D1 Rat right now.
I don't know. That Naito is actually really strong.
That is very fair. Has
And-
that Stride Breaker completed?
And Easy's strong too.
Yeah,
Like,
Easy's got that Ludens as well. We'll see what else is being built. Right now, Aatrox has finished the Eclipse, building towards what I believe is a Black Cleaver?
that is a Black Cleaver, yes.
Yes, building towards a Black Cleaver at the moment. So going to be shredding the armor, so doing even more to Magikarp.
Is
than
it
he
Black
already was.
Cleaver? Yeah.
I believe that's a Black Cleaver.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it looks like Disuke and Zebra are heading back top again for looking to pick on Magikarp a little more. But Magikarp thinking better of it, playing back.
Yeah,
by
they're
his
trying to
tower
pick
at
up
the moment.
Magikarp. At this point, he's not worth that much gold.
He's not. He's 0-4-0. Doesn't even miss his finish. Disuke, why on the rocket crab?
They
So,
didn't
you know what?
expect Magikarp to
for
go aggressive right there.
Exactly. Any logical Malphite would have backed up there, but not
Oh.
Magikarp. He goes in.
I mean, what is there to lose at this point, right? He still has the ultimate, so no matter how far he's behind, that ultimate can be a game-changing ultimate.
Unstoppable Force is always going to be a threat there.
Yeah.
From Magikarp, no matter how far behind he is. Next Dragon is coming up in 10 seconds, so that'll likely be our next conflict of this game. There's Paranoia into the mid lane, right onto Josuke, and there comes all the ultimates, but it looks like they are able to take down one, but there's a massive response in the Berserk! Silas with the hijacked hostile
no,
takeover.
Magikarp
His
is too
massive
late to fight.
Magikarp goes in, is not able to take anybody down. Oh no, Magikarp Codis goes in with the hijack. With the Intercept Abducted takes everybody down. That's a double coming in from Codis, and will look so promising off of Naito's Paranoia into the middle. Gets turned around instantly by a beautiful Glacial Prism from Zebra into a massive hostile takeover that was hijacked by Silas.
Yeah, that was a team fight that went for a complete 180.
It looked so good until it didn't.
It looked so good until it didn't. Magikarp was just a little behind. If Magikarp was there, that might have been definitely a better team fight for Team Fallen. But you see the potential there. The potential is 100% there. They overcommitted for the Varus. The Varus doesn't have that much damage. It's about 1.5 items complete. So if you're really going to look to pick off somebody, it has to be the Silas or the Aatrox, because they're the ones that can create that heavy DPS right now. Eventually, the Varus is going to be doing a lot, but overcommitting a lot of ultimates for that can be the death of you.
Varus not at that point yet, as you mentioned, only has that shield bow and the rage knife. Really, the issues come from D1 Rat, and now Codis, who has finished that second item halfway stacked on his Dark Seal, has the Shadow Flame finished. We saw what a good hijacked ultimate can do with that hostile takeover. Just imagine what he's going to do if he gets his own unstoppable.
Yeah. The big thing is like the Vex ultimate, the Shadow Surge. It's on such a low cooldown, so they can keep making quick plays like this, right? And if they're able to make the quick plays without the entire
Naito
enemy team
caught
responding,
here,
and
possibly. He's
Naito
already half
is
health. In comes the Paranoia just to try and escape, but the rocket grab comes in. Silas abscond, ducked in. Bailout comes in. It is not enough. The kill will fall, going to Zebra.
I think Naito is caught in no man's land.
A little
It's-
bit. Going a bit aggressive to steal the Gromp.
Yep. Cardiac Sensor is looking to tussle right there, and actually gets the better of Jizuki. Oh
Otis
no!
is chunking out Magikarp. There's a stolen
Yeah,
unstoppable
Magikarp
force.
is dead.
He's toying with him here. There comes the abscond, but doesn't even
Oh,
need
and
it.
then that actually procs
TP
TP,
coming
and the
in from
unstoppable
Easy.
force is still there to use for Kotis.
He's still got it. He's still looking for it, but Easy thinks better of it. Backs up, sees the Kotis with an unstoppable force, and says, "You know what? I'm not gonna fight this." But what this does mean is it's an easy Baron start for Blue at the moment, as they're all four onto it. We see D1 Rat rotating up. Magikarp not alive at the moment and does not have TP. Naito just now up. They are looking to come in, but it may be too late. The Blue comes out to spot it, but it is not enough. That is Baron going over to Blue.
Yep, and Easy did sniff it out, but doesn't have any wards on him, so wasn't able to look for a steal or even basically a play to make it a little bit less than 100 to 0 Baron play.
And we do see DSK finally finishing his mythic. We do see the Locket of the Iron Solari coming out, making his team just a bit more beefy to try and deal with. And really right now, as you mentioned though, it is that top mid jungle that's causing a problem, as that Aatrox, Sejuani, Silas. That's where all your damage is.
Yeah, and it was mostly the Aatrox and Sejuani at the beginning of the game, right? And then they were able to basically get Silas into and put on his carry pants. So they all put a lot of damage.
Oh,
in
another buffer
arcane
with
shift.
the Arcane Shift. Well done, Gashi.
Yeah, the bot lane of Team Fallen, Easy and Naito, are trying to make a place. The only problem is there's too many targets to try to kill immediately, and they have to look for these ultimates that are basically all ins. So if they don't get multiple people caught in their AoE damage, then they're using a lot of ultimates for one person, and then the re-engage is always there for Team Dawn.
Absolutely, and right now it looks like the Reds trying to trade back whatever they can. They see Tier 2 being coming in, but Paranoia comes in onto Kotis right now, flashes out, the Everfrost lands, there's a handshake pull in, Hostile Takeover is stolen, lands onto 3, Hostile Takeover of their own comes out, first Silas falls, then Nocturne, that's 2 down, locked down is Easy by that awful champions from that Chain of Corruption. That's going to be 4 falling in the end. Only Magikarp stands down bot lane, and that's just disaster coming in right now. Things are not going their way at the moment.
Yeah, I believe Cardiac Sensor held on to the hostile takeover, and Kotis immediately hijacked the hostile takeover and used it first. So if Cardiac Sensor decided just to use it immediately, I think that fight would have been a little bit better. Unfortunately, this might just be like, nah, it won't be the game.
Nah, not yet. They are able to take that mid inhibitor. Like you mentioned, Kotis got a great hostile takeover hijack coming in, and Josuke actually followed it up with a great chains of corruption to lock everybody down. It's how they managed to get onto both Naito and Easy there, and we're just able to lock them all and chain them all down and kill them.
It just
But
goes back to the point where if they're not able to kill their target immediately, they're just going to get re-engaged on by the rest of the team. And using all those abilities for one target and not be able to get the kill makes it a lost fight.
I'm just looking at things right now. D1 Rat, 5-0-2 on this Aatrox. 2.5 items. Has the Eclipse alongside the Black Cleaver and the Hex Drinker at the moment. Just, oh, never mind. Now it's them all. Now it's 3 items. Oh boy, this Aatrox just got even harder to deal with, as he has also picked up a Chain Vestable, which is likely on form towards a Death Stance. Good luck killing D1 Rat anymore, even though you weren't already. Shadow Surge comes in mid, is not going to land on anything. Josuke sidesteps. Does eat that Looming Darkness, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, right? Because the amount of damage coming out from Team Fallen is decent. So if they're able to get a solid fight, I don't think any of these fights have been like a great fight for them. It just seemed that they kind of went too aggressive without a lot of information, and they're not picking their fights. They're getting too desperate.
Just a little bit. It seems like they're fighting as if they were on even ground, when in reality, they're about 9k gold down and
Yep.
about to be... Well, they're on Soul Point right now, as next Infernal would put Team Dom onto that Infernal Soul, which is not something they want to deal with any more damage.
Yeah, and a big thing is like even though Malphite is decently behind, it seems like Team Fallen's not trying to use Malphite to engage. It seems like Magikarp is always in the top lane trying to catch CS, when in reality, Cardiac Sensor might be dead.
On Cardiac Sensor, abscond, abduct off the knock up from that Power Fist. Just instantly gone. Run, Magikarp, run! And he does manage to walk it out.
Yeah, important Arcane Shift there from Gajinse, because you know that Codis would use the Unstoppable Force just to try to one-shot him.
Rocket Grab comes out, not going to hit anything. We do see D1 Rat down in this bot side just shoving. So technically, though Cardiac Sensor is down, numbers are even in this top side fight at the moment. But with how much gold they're down, don't expect anything out of Team Fallen right now.
Yeah, they probably have to look for a play, and the problem is when they look for that play, if D1 Rat is split pushing, he has the Unleash teleport up, and
So Cardiac Sensor is up
able
now.
to rejoin the fight.
See if there's anything. Unstoppable Force comes in, only lands on a Zebra. There goes the Shadow Surge right into the back line. Massive fear comes out.
That's a
Auto's
big
coming
fight.
in. There's a handshake on a 2, locking them down. That's 4 members down instantly off of Team Dom. D1 Rat is
D1
in the
Rat's
backside, tearing
unkillable.
through. Flash is in, tries to land that Darkened Blade, though the Stridebreaker is going to slow him down. There goes World Ender, has fallen off. He's trying to run for his life at the moment. 4 members still chasing him down. Magikarp's the only casualty at the moment, goes over the wall. The Maw has blocked.
Jesse, he's going for it.
Actually just going right over with the Arcane Shift, and it looks like though Rat is able to escape, but not without all of his teammates falling, and with Rat leaving, it's going to be Baron going over to Team Fallen. What a turn!
You know, they don't have a tank though, so they got to be a little bit careful here.
Who needs a tank when you have Nocturne? The answer, probably Team Fallen. Burning everything they got to try and shred it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's easy. And they get it.
Well, they're able to get it, and they're able to take it away. I think take...
Oh! Rocket Fist just wide and easy. I think Easy saw their life flash before their eyes there.
Yeah.
As One Rat was there to follow up any damage that came in. And that all came from the initial engage off of Magikarp.
Yeah,
Yes,
and it wasn't even
hit
that good of a
Zebra.
gauge, right? It was...
It only caught Zebra. but
It
gave
only caught
Easy an
Zebra. It
opportunity to get
didn't
in
do
the
a
back
lot.
line.
They basically died, but they were a body, and they were allowing everyone else just to throw down damage, and they were able to win that fight.
I think though, trading autos back and forth, just going to walk away though, not letting that unspeakable horror prompt. Handshake comes out, just going to throw Rat sideways, and already seems like Team Dom back in control. Was nice for a little bit. Baron
Yeah,
is still active though, which is very nice. Dragon is spawning in 45, and we'll see have the side of Team Fallen figured
That's
out.
Infernal Soul!
Magikarp goes in, catches Codis. There's follow-up on it. Paranoia comes in with a Shadow Surge. Dashes in, there's a personal space. 2 eliminated instantly. There's another Shadow Surge, and Reset comes in. That's 3 down. Zebra gets caught for the Shadow Surge. There's the follow-up personal space, takes him down. That's 4 down again from Team Dom. And again, Easy coming up huge with these Shadow Surge catches.
Yeah, it's huge. Again, it looks like D1 Rat wasn't able to join the fight. Everyone just died too fast. A big thing I wanted to note, DSK actually flashed and made Stylus Codis get caught in Easy's fear, which basically killed Codis. So unfortunately, that fight could not have been stalled out any longer, and looks like Soul Point will be stopped for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Great for Team Fallen. They're giving themselves 5 more minutes to scale up. Magikarp getting a bit tankier. Does have Jack shows now finished, so he does now have a Mythic online, which means he can actually go in and not be blown up in 1 second. It'll take like 5 seconds now. But as well, Team Dom still scaling up on their own. We do have 3 items on on Joski has that shield bow alongside the Rage Blade and the Hurricane. So if he can pump out autos, he's going to shred through whoever he wants. We see the Death Cap finished on Codus now, if he can ever land in those chains. But also, Easy has the Death Cap. That's the problem for Dom's side right now. If Fallen's team with Easy can ever land that Shadow Surge like we've been seeing, which they've been managing to find a lot of, there's a lot of danger here off the burst out of Easy and the follow-up from Naito's Paranoia.
Yeah, this game just got interesting real quick.
Absolutely. What seemed like it was very one-sided is slowly creeping up. That gold lead was almost 10K, down to 5K right now.
Yeah,
And yes, is it even? No. But it's closer, and that's all we can ask for at the moment.
yeah, even if, but the thing is, they eliminate someone so quickly that's basically taking 5K gold off the map almost immediately. Actually, more.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna basically take off 10K. If they're able to catch Suzuki or Codus, that's a lot of gold to take off the map, and the team fight just gets a little bit better.
Yeah. Hex Flash in, there's the flash in with the Emerald Chains, comes in, massive Berserk comes out, Easy takes out Blitzcrank, but that's not enough. Easy takes out another Embarrass, but there's a stolen hostile takeover ripping through the team. Naito has the bail up, but it's not enough.
Oh, and that
look
will
who's
most
here.
likely
It's
be
D1
game.
Rat, Codus in the backline. Cleanse is not enough as the flash comes out from Gachi. He is the last man standing. 4 have fallen. Stolen hostile takeover with D1 Rat here. You're not going to get enough picks this time. Zebra going in with that audacious charge, trying to land it with the Arctic Assault, and they are able. Abscond, Abduct takes down Gashsi, and that may be it here, as we were just talking about the fact that Fallen's side was coming back into this game. Dom is able to wrap this up very nicely. Codus with a massive hostile takeover steal.
Yeah, they weren't able to kill Codus. More importantly, I think they thought they could start winning 5v5 team fights.
Yeah.
This was
They got
the
a
first
bit
time
too
D1
overconfident.
Yeah, this was the first time D1 Rat was in the fight at the beginning, and this was a total whitewash. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it is like
D1 Rat was like, you know what? We're losing 5v4s. How
Yeah.
about we actually try 5v5?
Yeah, and they were taking good fights before. They were waiting for D1 Rat to just go in the side lane, and they were using their ultimates very wisely. This one, they didn't have the information that they needed. They thought they can make the 5v5 fight happen, but they can't. They need to kill Silas, they need to kill D1 Rat, or they're just going to survive the entire time with, you know, Death Dance, the Maul. Silas is Silas, so he heals for 1,000,000 health.
Absolutely, and Jizuke was able to land that Chain of Corruption to lock down in that mid lane, and it was just followed up great by the Rocket Grab Power Fist combo from Blitzcrank. And they're just able to get that burst off, and yes, Easy was able to get in and take down both Biske and Joski, but it wasn't enough in the end. They are looking at Codus here. Shadow Surge comes in. Paranoia as well, diving in, instantly blown up, but here
look what's
comes
happening.
the cavalry. You're not getting away with this. Easy. Shadow Surge is there into D1 Rat, but you're tickling him. Easy is going to fall to the Darkened Blade. And meanwhile, Naito gonna fall as well to another Darkened Blade strike. This is D1 Rat's world. Lockdown from the Glacial Prism. Hijack comes out.
Wait a minute! Did Zebra just walk through the wall?
Zebra, I think, attempted to walk through the wall, but in the end, just went for the Arctic Assault through. Bailout comes in, is not enough. Cardiac Sensor is the last man fighting in the fight, as Magikarp was not there at the start. It looked like Fallen Side tried to get that pick and succeeded on Dakotas off the Paranoia and the Shadow Surge, but Team Dom was not letting that happen as the cavalry arrived and eliminated the 2 biggest threats on the team instantly. It's only Magikarp and Sensor left as Team Dom is looking to close this game out, which was one-sided to close to ending rather one-sided in the end. Team Dom takes the victory.
Yeah, a big thing in this game is you always want to have someone in the side lane catch his waves. Codus was able to get the side wave sometimes, but would get picked. D1 Rat is so strong that he was able to sit in the side lanes, but every time he was in the side lanes, his team would get picked. If Easy tries to go into a side lane, there's no play to be made, basically, for Team Fallen. If Magikarp goes there, he doesn't have TP, so he's never able to get into the fight. Yes, he's not going to do a lot of damage, but at least he's a body. I think that's why TP is just so important to take.
TP is
as a
so
top laner.
important, especially on top laners. And Easy, like you mentioned, was their big damage threat. So you can't have your only TP threat side laning, because then any fight that occurs is already lost.
Especially when you're a Vex. Vex, looks for the plays. Not going to look for the just stay in the side lane and just pick up the waves. Yes, maybe every now and then they'll just go top, clear the wave, but they'll immediately look to make a play or look for something with the team. They were not going to just look to push all the way up to the bot lane inhibitor tower.
Definitely. In the end, though, Team Dom is going to come out victorious. Bully, I gotta ask you, MVP for the game. Who you got?
It has to be D1 Rat.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I think a close second is Zebra, because Zebra is literally able to take every objective using the lead that they acquired. A lot of good glacial prisons, a big tank threat in the game. Basically had the early game on lockdown, especially getting D1 Rat early. There's a lot of snowball potential. It did make them win, basically. If D1 Rat wasn't able to get an early lead, I 100% think Team Fallen wins this game.
Oh, definitely. D1 Rat just kind of ran away with his top side, able to snowball his own lead. Yes, he did have some help from Zebra, but really, he was just dominating that lane before it even came to the jungle system. And with that, I'm going to double check who's next on our docket. Next up, we are going to be seeing Team Fallen have another shot at victory as they take on Team Toxin, and we will get right back to that as we come back from break. But we're going to get that set up in a minute, so we'll see you guys then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 here at the Platinum Scouting Grounds for BOL. This time we have Team Fallen taking on Team Toxin. Both teams looking for their first win. As we mentioned, we just saw last series, Team Fallen dropped Team Dom off some great Aatrox play, and we have heard that Team Toxin fell to Team Holy Carrot to an unfortunate combo of Olaf, Zeri, Yuumi. No, that doesn't sound toxic whatsoever.
What about the Yuumi? We gotta keep talking about Yuumi. Yuumi's a terrible champion. By terrible, I mean like
can we just get rid
busted
of it now?
Busted, and the fact that you could basically be AFK and take a quick nap and win a game because you could just sit on somebody. It's
basically
insane.
Find your Fed carry, press W, occasionally hit E, win game.
Yeah, just put your pet, put like a little I don't know, some tape around their paw, put it right on the W key and Q key, and just let whatever happen.
Yuumi is basically just a third item for somebody. But we are getting into draft as we start off Fallen side. Fallen will be on the blue side, Toxin will be on the red side. Already, we see a familiar story from last game, which is jungle bans, as Fallen side has banned out the Fiddlesticks already, where Toxin has eliminated the Heckle.
Yep, and I'm gonna assume the Viego and what was the last ban?
It was Hecarim, Viego, and
Or the Carrot Jungler.
I can't remember it was Kayn. Kayn is
Yeah, it's Kayn.
And speaking of Viego, it is banned again, but this side is by Fallen.
Ooh.
Nocturne is taken away by Toxin. Maybe they were keeping an eye on what happened last game, and saw Naito and Easy work on some great paranoia combos. They don't want to be on the opposite end of that this time. Meanwhile, Fallen takes away that Viego this time instead of having it banned against them. So it is Jungle Ban City. Fallen bans away the Zillion of all picks. Used really as an empowering pick to either make an AD carry or a jungler even harder to deal with. And Toxin bans Teemo. Did they know something I don't? You know,
No.
I'm gonna roll with it. Maybe
But
somebody's
that
a fucking
Zillion,
Teemo player.
the Zillion ban was definitely directed towards Peptic. He played the 143 games of Zillion, had a 4.6 KDA on Zillion, and of course, giving somebody a second life is kind of broken. So
What?
they just didn't want that to come into play.
Fallen's picking up what was used against them last game. It is going to be the Varus B1. Nice, safe 80 carry that brings a lot of CC. Story we've been telling quite a bit about, as he's been very high prio as of recent. We'll have to see what the response from Toxin is.
Cool.
It's going to be a bit more aggressive, as right now we get a Tristana hover and a Tristana lock in with a Zac. They are going aggro. They are going engage.
Yeah, and does that mean there's a possibility of a Yumi?
No. That champion does not exist. It's not banned, but it is banned. Meanwhile, Fallen picking up possibly that Thresh to give it a bit of extra mobility to Gagis on this Varus. But
Yep.
Great potential here.
It's definitely not just a pick for the Varus is a takeaway from Peptic, because that is the most played champion in his arsenal. So, ban one, pick one. You know the drill. Everyone knows the rules.
Trying to get rid of Peptic's
One
most
bite.
played champions in that Thresh and Zillion, locking him down to at least his third most played, which is better than his top two. Right? But there is the Volibear,
Oh,
but
nope,
it's actually
there's
the
Kane.
Kane.
Saw
it
it
gonna
banned
be
last
Kane?
game, and we'll see it played this time.
Yep, was banned away, locked in now. Naito going to be going for potentially that carry style. I personally expect to see some Rost gameplay. What do you think, Bully?
No. Could be like. I want to see some Blue Kane.
That would be fun, seeing a bit of Shadow
Blue
Assassin.
Kane is so fun to watch.
Peptic, though, picking up that Rakan, so we do likely see our bot lane for Shifty and Peptic with the Tristana Rakan, though Tristana obviously still flexible, possibly heading mid lane to Hypnotic Scruff. We'll have to wait and see, though. Meanwhile, bans coming out. Toxin Squad has banned away the Talia. Flexible mid jungle, but obviously that is targeted towards the mid lane pool right now, trying to limit what Easy's going to be playing.
Yeah, and we did see Easy do pretty well last game. Was able to get a lot of damage down as the Vex.
Speaking of Vex, they're actually the squad to ban it
Yeah.
away this time.
Because
We
Scrub
also
plays a
see-
ton of it as well.
Yep, Vagar and GP have fallen by the wayside. We still have top mid solo lanes for both squads still to come in here. Toxin up to bat now. We've seen a lot of mid laners banned away with the occasional top in that GP. We'll have to see what gets picked up here. Who's blinding? It's going to be the Karthus.
Is that the Karthus mid?
Is that Karthus mid or
No,
is
that's
this Karthus jungle?
Wait,
Zac
no,
top?
it's a Tristana mid. It's a Karthus ADC.
No way. Do you know something I don't, Bully?
Nope. I don't know anything.
All right, then. I thought you knew these players better.
Well-
Soraka.
So I think Scruff does play Tristana mid. I think I've seen him before play it, but I've never seen him play Karthus mid. I will say Zac top is pretty
Okay,
deadly.
this is a
as
lot
well.
more like the Akali. I was wondering about that Soraka hover, but instead
So-
we're getting that Akali lock in.
Zac top is actually pretty deadly. So it could be a Zac top Karthus jungle, and that's a Tristana Rakan bot lane, and then they're gonna pick their mid laner here.
That
which
is quite
is-
awesome.
Yeah, Zac does a lot of damage, so I wouldn't
He
doubt
does
it.
ridiculous amounts of damage.
Is it the Soraka top? It is a Soraka top if they're gonna go for it.
I think it's just a hover. We'll have to wait and see. There's the Cho'Gath.
No, I think it was because
fun.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh wait,
Oh,
there's the Soraka
it's a
top.
Soraka top.
It's actually Soraka top.
They're doing it.
Well, all right then. Magikarp did not have the best of time on Malphite last game, so picking up an Enchanter instead, going with that Soraka top, just
Yep.
meaning that Gagis and Easy and Naito are going to have a lot of fun, as they're going to have a rough time dying with all the support coming from Soraka. Toxin Squad, though, going to have to respond here. We'll have to see where things are going, as their final lock-in is something that has not yet been picked. It is blank, which means we'll let you know as soon as we hear.
LeBlanc.
It is LeBlanc, so that
So
will
that-
be a LeBlanc mid.
Yep.
So
and
that's
it's available?
likely, like you mentioned, that Zac top Karthus jungle.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it, that's a lot of magic damage. Tristana is going to be the sole AD. Of course, Tristana will put out a lot of AD damage, but that does rely heavily on her. If she gets behind and the itemization just goes towards, magic resist, which it's going to be kind of awkward because the champions you're playing a lot of assassins, you have a Soraka top. So it's not a big deal.
Very much. So, Bully, looking at these comps, what do we have here? Who are you favoring at the moment? What do you like?
I'm gonna be heavily interested in the Soraka top pick. The thing about last game, right? Magikarp was playing Malphite. Malphite still has a very useful ultimate in Unstoppable Force. Soraka has a useful ultimate, but the problem with Soraka is that if you get behind the Soraka and you can't get your items, you're gonna be pretty useless.
The difference this time is you don't have to be at the fight as Soraka to help.
That's true.
He can side lane on a will now.
Yeah, and then you have like the Varus, Thresh, Kane, Nikali. It's gonna be a totally different look. Yes, you have still the ability to like one-shot somebody with the Akali and Kane. But in terms of this game, it's not gonna be that team fight play. It's gonna be more of just making individual plays into long skirmishes to win these fights.
Definitely. And looking at these lanes, anywhere you're excited or expect most of the action to happen?
So I would fully expect top lane to kind of get abused. When you have a
think they're gonna
Zac
pick on
as
good
your
old
top
Magikarp
laner,
again?
yeah, I mean, you have a Zac as your top laner, you should be able to pretty much heavily engage on the Soraka whenever you want. In the bot lane, Thresh Varus is gonna be attracting a lot of attention for Kane.
Wait a second.
What?
At the moment, this is a Karthus top Zac jungle. Though
Nah,
we
they're
do
gonna-
still
they're
have
gonna
the
trade.
yeah,
They're
they'll
gonna trade.
They have to trade, right?
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, this is a very magic-heavy topside between the Zac, Karthus, and LeBlanc. Full AP. Really going to be interested to see how things turn out on this top
Yeah.
side. And yeah, I have a feeling Magikarp's going to get a lot of attention as the Soraka again.
Yeah, and hopefully, for their own sake, they take TP.
Yeah, they'll need it. Time we'll have to wait and see, though. Obviously, we're still getting in. Tristana locked in at that 80 carry versus the Varus. Tristana really looking to be aggressive in that laning phase, whereas Varus one of much safer with those piercing arrows available. Kind of just poke and farm as they can. Possibly see Thresh on those roams. As Blitzcrank was last game, we'll have to see if Cardiac Sensor picks up a bit of that roam style, or if we're looking at much more lane. Obviously, we're just waiting on the end of draft here for Khan coming in. We're pretty solid on where a lot of these picks are going. We expect the Karthus Zac to be swapped around. We obviously have until 20 seconds. We want to double check and confirm that where we think things are going, they're actually going. Everything else, pretty set in stone, or expectedly as to where we think they'll go. We're just going to have to wait and double check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we mentioned, ranked season, all season starts tomorrow as 13-1 comes out. Make sure you're getting your grind on. Make sure you're getting those games done, as when BOL starts, you will need those required games to be eligible to start week. And 20 seconds comes in. That is a Karthus top. So, Bully, how does that change things?
That is interesting.
Very, But obviously, we'll have to wait and see exactly how this Karthus top works out. Into Soraka. This is a top lane matchup I have not seen before, and I'm very interested to see how it's going to work out. But obviously, we're heading into our spectator delay right now, so we're going to head to a small break until we come back with our second game of the day as Team Fallen takes on Team Toxic.
Points his hands up high. You follow it so blindly. He promised you the sky, and you believe the journey. You lift your spirit high. The road is full of roses. You smell of the divine. But he sold you just a story full of lies and deceptions. Lies and deceptions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with Team Fallen taking on Team Toxin. As we are already getting to this game, we see another 5-stack coming in already from the side of Team Toxin. As Gassy is going to walk away, does not get caught by that grand entrance, so he is fine.
Well, yeah, they were looking for something, and luckily enough for Gajese, he actually walked in a little bit further out and was able to see them coming.
Yep, able to see them coming, able to dodge away from that recon. So in the end, nothing too important happened at the moment. But we do see the fact that LeBlanc's picked up a CS, so that means they were able to clear a ward. Good for them.
They got the ward. XP
That's all that
gold.
matters, which is actually big for a mid laner, in the fact that they'll hit level 2 off the first wave alone, not needing to wait on that second wave. Question is, will Scruff make use of it? We'll have to wait and see. But once again, we do see TPs for both top laners this time, and mid laner for easy as well. Only Hypnotic Scruff running that Ignite term instead of a teleport. But we do see Menace topside is running Exhaust Teleport, no flash, looking for more combat power.
Yeah, and Scruff was looking for an early
Speaking of action, already topside, Menace trading back and forth.
Oh, Magikarp might be in
There's
some
the
deep trouble.
There goes the Starcall, though. Gets that heal, importantly, off, but chunked out. Does have that TP available if they want to back. Menace just trading with those Skittles. Really dangerous from the lane waste. But the Starcall getting enough healing off.
Oh, if you're Magikarp, you need to back. You can't stay. You can't risk.
First strike with those.
My
God.
lane
waste just chunking him. He's got to be gone, but he's already calling for help topside.
Look at that. Nycto's top.
Here. Menace has no flash, but the Defile is out. Red buff is ticking. Menace just going to walk away as they have no eyes on where Black Eyed Peas is.
Scruff is in the river, and he's actually going to look to possibly a collapse on this level 2 roam. Looks like they'll be fine.
Level 2s for both bot sides now. We may look at Shifty and Peptic to try and be a bit aggressive here, as they do have this Tristana, who really likes to go for these early fights. But also looking down bot side, Black Eyed Peas going for this invade down bot side, trying to trade away these camps, and it really is just looking like vertical jungling here.
Oh, Cardiac Sensor
wide, the play comes in. There goes the grand entrance. Up. This is being traded back and forth. Rapid fire not available yet, but it's not and does not matter. Its explosive charge with the rocket jump is enough to take down Cardiac Sensor for first blood going over to Shifty.
Yeah, and that'll be 3.
But look who's behind him. Black Eyed Peas comes in, flashes out, but it does not matter. Shifty rocket jumps in. The stretching strike pullback is enough. Peptic will live, and it is good old Black Eyed Peas that picks up the kill bot side. Gagis and Cardiac Sensor already dropping down bot side. 1-0-1 Tristana, 3 minutes in.
Yeah, they tried to give that kill over to Shifty, but unfortunately the red buff did take it. But Cardiac Sensor kind of looking for
just trying to trade a bit of autos back and forth. Has that empowered auto from the Flay. Is able to chunk out Peptic a little bit. Doesn't get the Flay back to try and get him under tower. So meanwhile, it looks like Peptic just going to walk it back, and him and Shifty are going to take this back.
Yep, and
that's a Noon Quiver 4 minutes into.
Oh, that's 4-minute Noon Quiver. That's pretty dangerous. Easy is looking for a trade on Scruff. Scruff is looking for a trade back. Easy is a little low on energy.
Does land. Decides not to go for it though.
But look at Nycto. He's basically taking the entire top side of Black Eyed Peas, and
this is pure vertical jungling right now. Riot thought they killed this by making it harder to invade and making camps despawn. Nope, vertical jungling anyways.
Oh, and look at this. Nycto is in position to go behind the Scruff for a gank. Oh, and that...
There's the distortion in. Yeah. There comes the Reaping Slash. Hypnotic. Just going to walk away, though. But look who's bot side again. Black Eyed Peas. Great Flay comes out of Cardiac Sensor. Will save Gagis for now, as he's able to walk away. But Cardiac Sensor does not get so lucky. That is another kill going over to Shifty.
Yeah, you definitely knew Black Eyed Peas was going to be on the bot side. Just the way... Nycto is playing, so you have to expect that to happen, especially when you have a flashless, or you had one flash up, but it was pretty much of another free gank, and that's exactly what happens. So now Shifty and Peptic have full control of this bot lane.
Absolutely. Buster shot coming in. They're just gonna able to chunk with that explosive charge to get some tower plates down, get one for themselves. They're gonna rotate up, take a nice early dragon, get themselves a Hex Tech Dragon. Obviously, new this season, Hex Tech Dragon giving you that extra heal and shield power. Really
Yeah,
useful.
and just
Especially
like
for
that,
any enchant.
it's almost the 2K gold lead at about 6 minutes.
Yeah, that was very quick.
Yeah, it's very dangerous, especially the lead growing in mid lane. Top lane is kind of a lull. They're just trying to trade their own Qs, and not much happening there. Naito was looking for a play top early on, wasn't able to get the kill on a flashless Karthus. In bot lane, this is where all the action has been happening, especially Black Eyed Peas getting 2 successful ganks out.
Exactly. Black Eyed Peas are really happy with what he's done so far, and it looks like he's not done quite yet, as he is still down bot side looking for another play to happen. We'll have
Yep,
to wait for
and
those.
it's
Shifty
about to
gets
happen.
Played in, but Otto's getting traded back and forth. Look who's back! It's Black Eyed Peas, and in comes the Requiem as well. It will pop, meaning Menace gets a free assist. Magikarp did not have 6 yet, which means the Wish was not available. Both these global ultimates now online, but Menace had it early, meaning he was able to impact the map first. Meaning Shifty gets another kill down bot side. Menace gets a free assist. Cardiac Sensor 030. Shifty 301. 7 minutes into this game. And
Yeah,
this
you know
Tristana
the
is
game
going to be a
plan
problem.
of this team, Toxin, and you gotta. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage. In the bot lane, you gotta play a little more safe. You know what's gonna happen. You gotta know where the enemy junglers, because Black Eyed Peas has been pitching a tent down there, and now he's about to feast on a lot of ribeye because he is getting fed. He's getting his team fed, and there's a lot of money to be thrown around.
Jane comes in, does root down, but Hypnotic Scruff not going to go for anything as easy. Makes another tower. Nothing too exciting. And Black Eyed Peas makes what I believe is his first journey up to his topside camps.
I mean, he got the first rotation kind of right. He got just as red, really.
Did he?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
not.
he invaded them, but I think they were vertical jungling straight from the start.
Yeah, that's probably what
Black Eyed
happened.
Peas taking, as you mentioned, his red. Gonna look to see what they can make happen. But Magikarp having a much better game right now on the Soraka. Able to stay even, has a ward out, catches Black Eyed Peas, gonna back off and play it safe, giving them a little bit of knowledge as to where Zach is.
Yeah, and Black Eyed Peas is now venturing this top side. Isn't getting as much as he was in the bot side. Scruffus has full control of this bot or mid lane right now with this trades that's going heavily in his favor all the time.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're going for invade here. I wonder if they're going to try and give Menace this blue buff up top side. He does have that lost chapter already finished, but who's going to say no to a free blue buff?
Yeah, and giving that to a Karthus, Karthus will just be able to lay waste and never lose mana.
Yep, and he does end up with that blue buff, so he's going to be very happy, as it looks like Black Eyed Peas just going to head on over to this Rift Herald, see what they can get done.
One of the big things to note, Naito, even though he's made a little presence on the map in terms of ganking, he's farming up a storm. He's currently
Quickness comes in. There's a grand entrance. But look who's here. It is Naito. Death Sentence comes in, pulls Shifty under tower.
Oh, that's a big
Shifty
shutdown.
tries to Buster shot him away and flash away, but unfortunately flashes right into the waiting arms of Naito, who picks up a big shutdown down bot side and gives Team Fallen their first kill of the game. Opposite side of the map, though, Black Eyed Peas does grab that Rift Herald. Cardiac lands the death sentence, pulls in, flays him back into Naito's waiting arms. Flash over the wall, though Peptic will be safe. Magikarp, meanwhile, trying to run for his life, dodging out on these Skittles, though gets exhausted. He may be in trouble here. No Requiem at the moment, but Black Eyed Peas being chased down by Easy. There's a big scruff happening up here. Magikarp, you may be in trouble if you step up.
Magikarp,
gets
not
caught by a
this again.
Skittle. Here he comes, the Requiem. No wish means Magikarp will fall. Menace picks up a solo kill topside.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of slightly greedy gameplay right there. You know, if you get hit by one Q, the Rec Room is just going to come out and you're just going to be dead. You already used your own wish, so You're just gonna give up a free kill to a Karthus who is just gonna scale infinitely.
Yep, Karthus running that first strike alongside a kill and an assist, having a great time. Up 1.5K already, got himself a second turret plate. He is very happy with how this game is turning out.
And Easy and Scruff are trading mid, but Scruff again gets the better of it. He's up 9 CS, but in this bot lane, the CS is, you know, the same. But the only problem is there's 3 kills difference. With Shifty having about a half item than you could just say. The big thing is gonna be on Nikto. Nikto is by far the strongest member of his team. He's
Oh,
doing
absolutely.
pretty well in his farm. He's got a 600 gold shutdown on the Shifty kill, and we need to see him be able to use that effectively if Team Fallen want to get back in this game.
Trading coming out up top side. Manus gets hit by that Starfall, so Soraka just healing off a nice chunk of change. Soraka does have that wish available in case a fight breaks up around this dragon. Meanwhile, the Requiem is not available at the moment for Karthus, who has just gone back and purchased himself a Lian. So that's going to be fun for the side of Fallen to have to deal with, but we'll have to wait and see how things are going at the moment. Just some easy trades coming in back and forth, no real action at the moment. But Magikarp may be in trouble again. He
Here we
gets caught
go
by that
again.
wall, and the Defile is out. The Skittles are coming in, and he will burn! But the wish
Boy, he's
comes
looking to burn. He burns.
Leandri's burn is enough to take him down. That is another solo kill for
Magikarp was just too greedy with his own flash and just gives up another kill. He loses the wish as well, so can't help the teammates if they're under fire on the other side of the map.
Yep. Speaking of a fight on the other side of the map, here this goes. Black Eyed Peas able to avoid the death sentence. We do see 4 and 4 stacked up as Karthus is topside. Requiem is now available.
Oh.
Flay comes back. In comes the quickness, though. Nikto secures the dragon, but the Requiem is coming in. Big burst comes out. Nikto falls, and that's the big carry of the team. Death sentence is there to flash away. It's not enough, though. Gajki may be in trouble here as he's trying to run away. Flash in by Hypnotic Scruff. Lands that Sigil of Malice. It is not enough, though. They may be looking for more here. Is Black Eyed Peas looking under this tower? Gleaming Quill lands a bit of extra HP that could be useful in a dive. And Death Sentence goes wise. Peptic goes in, lands that grand entrance, able to knock up. Cardiac Center goes down as well. Peptic trying to get away, and he will. Black Eyed Peas fails to flash over the wall. And Easy picks up a donated kill from Black Eyed Peas.
And there's one major thing I want to note there. If Soraka had the wish in that fight, that could have been a completely different outcome. That healing could have made that a winning fight for Team Falling. Instead, they had to run with their tail between their legs under the tower. Luckily for them, Easy was able to pick up a kill while they try to dive the bot side of Team Fallen. But it's a 3.5k goal lead right now, and not just that, this Karthus has about a 50 CS advantage in his top lane.
Nikto says hi and says, I want these raptors. And he's going to get it. The question is, will he live? He does. Which is
It was fine.
Yeah. But along with that, the gold lead has led to an item lead. We see mythics on the side of Toxin's team already. We see the Leandries, the Jack Shows, the Ludens, and that Kraken Slayer. Whereas we have no mythics done on the side of Fallen yet. Only the Redemption finished first item by Magikarp. Black Eyed Peas going in, gets the stretching strike, pulling into the Let's Bounce. Nikto's in trouble here. Requiem not yet available, which is all that matters. The Wish comes out to heal Nikto up. Heptic is here, though. There's the grand entrance. Flash away by Nikto. Redemption is here. Pulls Magikarp back. Forces the flash away. But a stretching strike does get him back. Hypnotic Scruff goes over the wall. There's the Sigil of Malice. But Cardiac Center's here. They're just going to walk it out in a trade that very much favors Toxin's squad.
Yep. Luckily for Team Fallen, they're able to get out with everyone surviving. Ah, Nikto wanted the blue buff.
Oh, Nikto, no! Nikto's a bit greedy there. Easy gets caught by the grand entrance into the charm. But Requiem comes in, not going to get too much. Just a bit of pick. Trying to get a bit of poke damage off.
Nikto greeting for that blue buff does cost him his life. And it cost a little bit more than that. It costed Easy's ultimate. It costed a lot more pressure than it should have.
Absolutely not much able to come out. Now Nikto getting caught there, really detrimental. We see him working towards that Gore Drinker. Not going to have it quite yet. Also, still not at form. We're going to have to see how things turn out for him, what he goes for in terms of transform, and when he gets that. That's a big thing for us to track at the moment. Meanwhile, topside, Menace and Black Eyed Peas are going for that Rift Herald for the second part of the game. Grade's coming back and forth, though. Mimic Chain comes in, lands down with a Sigil of Malice. Distortion comes in, forces the Shuriken flip away, and Easy lives with a sliver of health.
Yeah, its mid lane is basically extremely close. If one misplays, I think they're just dead. But right now, for Hypnotic Scruff, with the Leandries, he does so much damage. Or not
Both these
Leandries,
mid
sorry,
laners have
Ludes.
extreme kill threat at the moment.
Yeah, the Karthus has Leandries and has ultimate, which can, well, has a ultimate that could literally do 400 health plus the burn, which is like another 100. Well, it looks like 493 is the damage from the Requiem right now.
And Nikto has just pinged in chat for his teammates to know he is 2 minutes away from having access to that darkened form, so we are likely going to be seeing Ross this game. Gore Drinker is finished, going to be going for that extra healing, try and be a bit more of a frontliner and sustain in these team fights.
The level difference between top is absolutely insane. It's 3 levels. Menace.
Wow.
Yeah, we see the Karthus counter jungling. It's getting tough. I don't.
Hold on here.
You basically can't let
Easy's
this
looking
Karthus
for
keep.
something. Has gotten the roam down.
getting
Pepic's
everything.
in the area, gets caught by the chain of corruption. Misses on the shirt.
Oh!
The play catches him, pulls Peptic back over the wall. He will fall as Easy picks up a kill on this Akali. But it looks like they're not done. Knight, though, with this kill advantage, is looking to invade. He found Black Eyed Peas. Hypnotic Scruff is in the area, trying to get this buff. Not going to be enough, though, as he does have to take the Dark Passage away, and they're running into Hypnotic Scruff. Gets that chain down. Requiem's coming in for a bit of poke to try and make this easier fight for them. Shuriken Flip comes in, though. Easy comes in for another kill. That's 2 over this fight, but look who's here. It's Karthus. He pops down that Defile. Hypnotic Scruff goes in with the Distortion, and that chain takes down
Scruff was 1 health.
with the help of Shifty. They're looking to keep chasing this down. Karthus
Wait,
keeps
Magikarp,
pushing down.
what are you doing?
Skittle. Oh, the Layways takes down Magikarp. Just getting chunked down by these solo Layways. Menace
Come on,
is
just
being
run.
a menace. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. 2 items completed in the Leandries and the Shadow Flame. He is a problem for all of Team Fallen.
Yeah, the minute the Karthus showed up to the fight, it was a dangerous fight. Now, looks like Nikto does have the Darken form, and so he's been doing decent well. His score doesn't show it, but he's able to do a lot of damage. He's able to survive a decent amount of time. A lot of these team fights are decently close. We saw this in the last game, where Team Fallen had the pieces to basically win the game. The only problem is they would fall way too behind at the beginning of the game, and it was just an uphill battle.
Bit of trading coming back and forth. There's 5-point strikes from Easy coming in. Landing back and forth. The red buff ticking a little bit. And meanwhile, Magikarp is mid, trying to do his best to help. But the Herald has been dropped bot side. That means this bot lane tier 1 is forfeit. So they are going to have to back away and give this with 3 down bot side.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So that leaves us with a rather significant gold advantage going the way of Team Toxin right now. Exactly what they want to be seeing. Menace has been absolutely playing his role in being a problem for all of Team Fallen right now. Easy trying to do his best on this 3-0 Akali, pump out some damage. But he's doing all he can. Lands the Shuriken Flip, debating if he wants to go for it, decides not. With this tier 1 gone, they're kind of forced back as now down tier 1 top and bot, only their mid stands, and that's likely not for long, to be honest, as they are grouping up in this mid lane here. Baron spawning in 10 seconds. We don't expect anything here. Our next big objective is going to be this Cloud Dragon in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that would give soul point for Team's Toxin, so it's definitely something that they definitely won. Cloud Dragon seems to be very good, or Cloud Soul would be very good for their team.
Very much so, and right now, just trying to trade back and forth, seeing what can happen at the moment. Not too much going on, though, as it's a bit of a lull period as Team Toxin tries to shove in this mid lane, possibly looking to siege onto this tower, doing all they can at the moment. Magikarp on his own down bot side, but look who's lurking. It's Hypnotic Scruff, dives in. Equinox tries to silence him, but he's able to bait out. Redemption comes in, but it's not enough to counter the fact that there's a Requiem from Menace, as
And-
Magikarp will fall.
Again, the flash is still up. Come on, you just gotta use it. Using that much just to die is not worth it. And
Well,
not
Death
just
Sentence
that,
comes in
that
here
would
on
be
Peptic
Baron.
Blade, back tries to dash away, but Menace is here, lays down the wall of pain. There goes that Chain of Corruption to lock him down. Naito is in this backline, but instantly gets locked down. Rocket Jump into the backline, tries to get onto Black Eyed Peas, get a bit of healing, lets bounce, flashes in, is able to take down Naito in the backline. Easy's going for it, gets taken down by Menace as Thresh falls to Black Eyed Peas. Stretching Strike, not going to be able to catch on anything. Shifty Rocket jumps over, tries to catch onto this Varus, but it looks like not much is going to happen. And that's all with Hypnotic Scruff, not even here. That was a 4v4, and it was decisively Toxin favored. Hypnotic Scruff, though, not done again. Lands that Mimic Chain, able to pop the Ignite, just chasing down. There's the flash into the Sigil of Malice with the Distortion. Another solo kill goes the way of Hypnotic Scruff, and they just blast Kona away with a Baron to boot.
Yeah, it's going bad to worse. The last game, they had the champions to make a comeback. This game, it's going to be very, very difficult. Now you're looking at a 12k gold lead. It's all but over at this point.
Absolutely, and while that's going on, we want to give it a little bit of a shout out. Thank Metashift for sending over a raid party. Happy to have you guys here. Welcome to the scouting grounds for Platinum here at BOL. We're happy to have you. Meanwhile, things just going their own way as Team Toxin just convincingly in the lead of this game. Menace is living up to his name, has just picked up that Rabadon's Death Cap for a third item alongside a fully stacked Dark Steel. This Karthus is going to be a problem, as he already has been with the Requiem.
Yep, and looks like Naito's trying to make a play on the Shifty, but Shifty's just able to jump away into safety.
Menace and his Scruff both deathless at the moment. 5-0 and 5, 3-0 and 3. These solo lane mages just pumping out so much damage whoever they're up against. And Magikarp just cannot stand in a 1v1. But look out, the Wall of Pain is here. In comes the Grand Entrance into the Elastic Slingshot.
Whoa!
Not able to escape with the Dark Passage as the auto follows the explosive charge from Shifty. It looked like Naito got out, but he did not in the end.
Yeah, that is just a lot of damage, a lot of CC. Naito could not move, and that's going to be Dragon, and I don't think we're actually going to see the Soul in this game.
Absolutely. Things are really looking rough here for the side of Team Fallen. And this is just perma-sieging in. Nobody can step up. Death Sentence lands, but what are you going to do with it? Throw out a piercing arrow, get a little bit of poke with that hail of arrows, and not much coming in as this siege minion is just pumping damage into the mid-tier 1. While they're stacked up in the spot lane, Cardiac Sensor and Elastic Slingshot. Not much going to happen, though, as Naito caught as the Cardiac Sensor throws out the Death Sentence. Not going to take it, as he uses his better judgment. And really, it looks like the side of Team Toxin just playing to this mid and bot lane as it's just rotating as a 5-man, trying to pump out damage. Cardiac Sensor chunked for that Sigil of Malice and the Ethereal Chains. Really, not much they can do to step up. As it looks like this inhib tower is just going to get shredded by Shifty.
Yeah, and the bot lane inhib will go down pretty quickly, and right now we have about 3 minutes to the Baron, 4 minutes to the Soul. Everyone's going to reset. They have a lot of gold to spend. Looks like Shifty was sitting at about 2k gold. Finishing the Phantom Dancer. Or, actually, the IE, sorry. Actually, wait, what do you have?
3 items on Shifty, 3 items on Menace. These two alone are a problem. Add in Scruff, who's just going to dash in with a Distortion and pop whoever he wants to with a Mimic Chain. And he's going to be a big problem to try and deal with. Heptic had some great engages. Sensor's tried his best with these hooks and flays to try and disengage. but there's just too much coming in from the side of Toxin to try and deal with. Magikarp caught, but manages to take the Dark Passage away. He will escape with his life.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a couple games in a row. Magikarp has fallen behind. So I believe Naito, his best bet early on is to play heavily for what we've seen of the carry potential is like a all-in style, like a Nocturne. Of course, it was banned. The Kane was good, but I think pairing it up with somebody that has hard CC in the mid lane would have done wonders.
Absolutely, and we see Black Eyed Peas here looking at a potential engage with that Elastic Slingshot under the tower. We'll have to wait and see, though, as it is very far down, as they are going to be pushing in with this next set of minions, trying to take down this tier 2 top side. And really, the next fight that goes the way of Team Toxin, we expect it to be the game. In goes Black Eyed Peas, not going to land on anything. Forces out the Flash of Gash. Really, this is just the writing's on the wall here. Elastic Slingshot lands on the easy. Not much going to come out of it, though. Meanwhile, Shifty is just pumping out damage and chunking this inhibitor tower as they're trying to siege away. Naito trying to throw out that Blade's Reach, trying to get a knock-up. Nothing coming out of it, though, at the moment.
Yeah,
Baron,
and
as you mentioned, on the table in a minute. Hextech Soul in the table is available for Team Toxin in about a minute and a half. We'll have to see what happens. Meanwhile, Peptic goes in, catches Naito with that grand entrance. Meanwhile, Blade reaches in thanks to the damage coming out of Easy, is able to get the Umbral Trespass to get the damage off and healing. Easy trying to deal damage of his own, but he will fall. Meanwhile, somehow, Menace fell in that top side.
yeah, it's a lot of gold.
Yeah, 3 for 2 going the way of Toxins, but I think with how many 2 big shutdowns coming off the big carries, you are very happy with that if you're falling.
Yeah, just if you're able to get any gold into your pockets of your carries, I know it's a rough spot for Team Fallen, but it's not like people will not make mistakes. There's always a way to get back, and a good thing is that they are making the plays to try to make the comeback. Unfortunately, they're not able to get the last bit of damage to kill these important members.
And we are 28 minutes into the game. Magikarp has finally picked up that Moonstone Renewer. Amp is healing a little bit. Naito has that already finished with the Maul of Malmorty, so trying to make himself a bit tankier, but really not much this side of Fallen can do except watch this Baron fall. Dragon is up in 15 seconds, expecting Toxin to rotate down there, as Menace is already making his way down, working towards a Zhonya's of his own. Though honestly, he probably doesn't need it with how much damage he's pumping out on his own right now.
Yeah, and they're just gonna get this Baron for free. There's super minions. Oh, well,
Free
I'm
Baron,
actually behind.
free Dragon, nothing you
Yeah,
can really do about
it's-
any of it.
And it is like one last march to Nexus. It's pretty much over.
In all honesty, Fallen needs a miracle. That's all there is to it.
Pretty much. I hate to say it, but that big of a gold lead, it's too hard to come back from.
15k gold lead. Naito is caught with that grand entrance. The Requiem comes in, chunks everybody. Easy goes in onto the clone, though, with the perfect execution. Is just going to walk it out. Nobody falls, but those are 2 big ultimates blown by the side of Fallen, as we no longer have the wish or the perfect execution. Traded only for the Requiem of Toxin.
Yep.
Blade's
And
Reach comes in with a knockup. Naito goes in, gets a bit of a chunk down, but that tower falls. The engage is coming in. There goes the Elastic Slingshot. Blade away by Cardiac Sensor. Death Sentence flashed by Black Eyed Peas. He gets the stretching strikes in. They are able to take down Naito. Grand entrance off that quickness. Is able to lock down Gadgety on that Varus as well, as this is just a death sentence for Fallen squad. Toxin squad is easily cleaning this up. 3 members left. Easy going for his best. Cardiac Sensor flays away to save Easy's life. Meanwhile, Cardiac Sensor though will fall to Karthus. Those lay waste doing way too much damage, as that will be Toxin's squad taking the victory here, moving themselves to 1-1, as Fallen squad will fall to 0-2.
yeah, and just an update. It looks like Team Holy Care is also 2-0 2-0, while Team what's the last team?
Team Dom.
Team Dom falls to 1-1.
Yep, and that means up next we will have Team Toxin versus Team Dom to figure out who will end day one with that 2-1 record. But first, let's look at how this game went overall. And Menace pumped out that damage as Karthus, most in the game by a mile. Doubled anybody on the enemy team, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it's a little bit greedy gameplay. It almost went exactly like how the first game did for Team Fallen. They fall behind way too early, and then they have to start climbing a steep hill. And they sometimes make the plays to, gain a few feet from the ground, but then they have to fall back down because they're so far behind. They need to revolve around comps that they're able to play together. They need to try to stop the bleeding early, try to make safer plays, safer bets, not be too greedy, and basically play together as a team and use the information wisely to make these plays.
Absolutely. So overall, Bully, who would you give MVP to on the side of Toxin Squad?
It has to be Menace.
Once again, I agree with you. Big top lane plays coming out by Menace.
Yeah,
Really?
it didn't even have to be plays.
No.
The ultimate by itself just won every team fight. If the Rec Room was up, it did so much damage because he was so far ahead that it didn't matter. But Shifty played well. I think Black Eyed Peas did extremely well. He was able to get the plays in the bot side. The bot side became almost one, or actually I think it did become one.
It
because
was
of Black
one.
Eyed, yeah, because Black Eyed Peas was able to basically get 2 really early ganks off, 2 successful ganks. And with Karthus creating havoc in the top lane, it didn't allow there's just too much pressure across the map. It didn't allow Naito to have any priority in any of these lanes, and the mid lane was kind of a lull. Hypnotic Struff got the better of the trades most of all, but it also created a way that Easy couldn't make plays by roaming, which he did in the first game when they were behind. On Akali against the LeBlanc, it wasn't as easy as a Vex would.
Yeah, not much able to come out for Team Fallen. They are going to be facing off stream against our 2-0 team in Team Holy Care to try and get themselves their first win of the day. We will have to wait and see how that goes. But meanwhile, coming up, we have Team Dom taking on Team Toxin, the two teams we've seen take victories over Team Fallen today, facing off on stream. So while we get that set up, we are going to take a small break. But when we do, we'll be right back for our final game of the day.
The world is ours tonight.
I've been in the good times already. You can see it on my face. I know. No more racing. We got it. We could reach it. Yeah, we got it. And you know I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. But what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final game of the day for Platinum Scouting Grounds here at BOL. We have Team Dom against Team Toxin, both teams currently 1-1 on the day as we are already heading into the draft. Dom's squad taking away the Karthus and the Silas. Both picks Menace has piloted quite successfully, whereas Toxin's squad taking away the Belveth, targeting Zebra at the moment, as well as that Viego, again trying to take away those carry-style junglers. Now, for anybody who watched Toxin Squad last game, we have a bit of a lineup shift, as Menace is heading to the jungle, Scruff is heading to the top lane, and we have a sub coming in. WX in game, also known as Pontificate Bird, has come in as the mid laner for the day. Dom squad still running with the same group. Dom now choosing to ban out the Gangplank, as well as the Twitch being eliminated by Toxin, which means Dom's squad will have first pick of the day. Varus has been the priority pick of every team so far today, but it's looking like a J4 pickup, possibly heading towards the jungle, also having flex potential as a support and a top laner. We're going to have to see, though. J4, really a strong ganking jungler, high prio, has made very nice usage of the new tank items. We'll have to see how things keep going here. Zebra, in the first game we saw out of him, had some great ganks early onto Rat's lane. We're going to have to see if that's still the style that used to go. Meanwhile, Toxin squad is going to respond here with the Udyr. Again, a top laner and a jungler. Flexibility there. Expect it personally to be heading towards Menace in the jungle, and Shifty is picking up the Tristana. We saw him have such a strong performance last game that they're saying, you know what, let's give it to him again, and let's see how things work out. They were able to get high prio off of some ganks from Black Eyed Peas, who is not here right now, but expect Menace to play a similar ganking style that was played last game if he is on the screen. But we are now seeing Lucian picked up for Dom. It is that Lucian-Nami pairing, the highest prio, or one of the highest prio ADC support duos in this game at the moment. Lucian playing so well off that Tidecaller's Blessing E from Nami. He's getting so much damage to pump out. As soon as he basically hits level 2, he has so much prio in that lane and kill threat. And we really have two aggressive 80 carries here in the Tristana and Lucian. That makes us a very volatile lane to see how it pairs out. And meanwhile, Toxin squad picking up Thresh for Peptic. It was taken away from them last game. Peptic now on a comfort champion on his own. Saw great success with the Rakan last game. Let's see how he works out with Thresh himself. Toxin squad banning away that Vladimir that is a top mid flex between Kotis and Rat, as Dom squad still needs that mid top where Toxin squad does as well. Though theoretically both junglers could be flexed up there we're expecting the solo laners to be saved for this draft phase. We'll have to wait and see, though. Tryndamere, meanwhile, is the ban away from Dom. Is the ban on Dom's side, trying to take away a very aggressive top laner from Hypnotic Scruff. Tryndamere can really be hard to deal with. Toxin Squad, meanwhile, covering a Kha'Zix, now a Zac ban. We'll have to wait and see. Zac, we know, can be flexed up to that top lane. As we mentioned last game, with these new items, has so much damage available, especially if he decides to pivot into that Demonic Embrace. Instead, it will be the Victor ban followed by a Yone ban. So really a lot of mid laners being targeted out here. Toxin Squad now up, has to blind one of their solo lanes. Last time they chose to blind, I believe it was their mid lane. Sorry, not their mid lane. It was their top lane last time. We'll have to see what the response this game is, though. As they did find success with it, but with a different squad, it's going to be the Corki mid. A nice scaling late game poke mage, pseudo AD carry available if you want. But Dom's squad now has the response with a counter pick mid, hovering 2 picks, Syndra, Kassadin, both in a very strong suit right now. Very high prio picks. Looks like they may be deciding on one more than the other. Of course, the patch that comes out tomorrow is where we get our Roa buffs and our Seraphs buffs. So Kassadin going to be even stronger tomorrow, but already a very strong pick right now. Kassadin is what we have locked in at the moment. So really going for a counter pick, late game scaling style. We're obviously going to have to count up to 16 where he gets even stronger online, but it is the Jax blind pick coming in for Dom's squad. Rat going to be piloting this. Such a strong carry potential. Side laner now on their side. Obviously, his slight revamp is coming in tomorrow. It's still the same Jax you know and love. That says, hey, Spear of Sojin, that's a fun item. I want it. Became so oppressive. Counter-Strike just negates so much of what wants to be done. Toxin, meanwhile, grabs a great response to the Jax. Picks up the Gragas. Personally, I expect this to be a Gragas tank topside for Hypnotic Scruff. We'll have to wait and see exactly if that's how things pair out. But I expect this to be a Gragas versus Jax topside, Udyr versus Jarvan jungle, Corki versus Kassadin mid, so really 2 late game scaling mid laners, and a very hyper aggressive bot side in this Lucian Nami against this Tristan Thresh. So really it's going to be about how this early game plays out, as both Udyr and Jarvan have really strong gank potential off of level 2. Udyr with that boar stance, Jarvan with the flag drag himself off the Demacian standard, really can look for ganks wherever they want. But I really think they're going to be looking to get their bot lane rolling ahead and try and snowball what could be a very volatile, aggressive matchup, alongside maybe looking to influence this late game scaling mid lane comp between the Corki and the Kassadin. Top lane, though, expect both to just be playing around a little bit. Jax obviously has aggressive potential, but Gragas off that body slam can just negate any all-in potential from Jax. Just body slam him with his E and then walk away. Completely negates the threat of the counter-strike. So really, I like what Hypnotic Scruff has picked up here in the Gragas. Assuming this is a Gragas top and not Udyr top. Udyr top, obviously, very oppressive as well. We've seen a lot of AP Udyr tops going for that Demonic Embrace with the Phoenix Max, now having that slow field available. Really,
yeah, this is
where
my favorite matchup. Is one of my favorite matchups if you're playing Gragas. It's pretty doomed if you're playing Jax. You just go Emax Gragas and Jax can jump on you.
Definitely going to be an oppressive matchup for this Gragas if you choose to go into it, as it just shuts down all-in potential that Rat would ever have on this Jax.
Yep, but you know, we saw the kind of pressure that Rat was able to put on game 1. Game 2, not as much. Let's see what happens in game 3, as one of these teams will, you know, end the night 2-1 while one of them ends 1-2.
Absolutely. Now, Bully, with this Lucian Nami against Tristan Thresh, how are you thinking this aggressive bot lane is going to go?
The thing about Lucian Nami is it's actually very easy to play, right? So if
you
we
mean both people pressing E is really easy? I never would have guessed.
Yeah. But that's a big thing. They could go a little bit too aggressive, which will open up the possibility of them overextending a little bit too early. If they fall behind in this lane as Lucian Nami, it is catastrophic. it they don't want to fall behind this lane. They should have all the prio in this bot lane. And it should be Jarvan's reign of terror in the bot river. But who knows? We could see some nasty hooks, nasty plays from Team Toxin and shut down this bot lane before it even starts.
Absolutely. As the game goes on, obviously Tristana going to be able to make use of that extra range she's gaining from her passive, whereas Lucian is gated by his relatively short range. But really, if Lucian is able to get that snowball going off a very strong lane phase, that could be very dangerous for Toxin squad to have to.
Yep, and since this is the last game of the night, and F.
Unfortunately, somebody's dropped out of client, which is never good to see. Was Menace, so may have just DC'd. Yep, he just DC'd, unfortunately, so that is a slight issue. They are going to be getting this all resolved. His client has unfortunately crashed, which means hopefully he'll be back. We'll have to wait and see, though.
But yeah, I think since the last game of the night, who do you think is going to win this one?
I really like what Toxin squad overall has put together. I think the Gragas counterpicking the Jax works out really well, and I'm worried that Jizuke plus Deske are going to be a bit too aggressive on this Lucian Nami, and we just saw what Peptic and Shifty could do with a very aggressive Tristana comp, and I think they're going to be able to pull off something similar to this game.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put a prediction.
So, Bully, we heard what I thought. What do you think off these comps?
I think this is Team Toxin's game to lose.
So, for the third time tonight, we're very much in agreement.
Yeah, it's the late game scaling for Let's see, 1 second. My dog is
No worries.
being something.
Sounds about right. We do have Menace back in, so they will be heading back into draft. So we are both in agreement on this being a bit of Team Toxin favored. So, Bully, where do you think we're going to get our action?
Definitely bot lane. It's a Lucian Nami lane. You're gonna...
Very much so. That just screams blood. Between a Tristana versus a Lucian Nami, we're going to have quite a bit of action down bot side.
It's pretty hard to say that they're gonna be passive.
Yeah, it very much just these two laners really want to get ahead. They found success in getting ahead before tonight, so they're really going to try and continue that snowball, hopefully going their way. And that could be really what breaks open this game, but we'll have to wait and see. With us heading now into client draft, we're going to let this run out to make sure nobody DCs this time, but when that's done and when we get our spectator delay, we will be back with our final game of the night between Team Dom and Team Toxin.
Yeah, make sure you vote on who will win. Wow, they're going heavily on Team Toxin.
Is it heavily on Team Toxin, or is it just Toxin?
Well, it's probably just Toxin voting.
Sounds about right. But yeah, we
well,
shall
actually,
be
I saw
back. 200
and then 5,000 added, so I think it's 2 people.
Okay, it's 2. So we know the 5,000's Toxin. But yeah, we'll be back with the results of that poll and our final game of the night as we have Team Dom taking on Team Toxin. We'll see you when we get back.
This is your moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our final game of the day between Team Dom and Team Toxin. And it looks like, for the first time, we're not going to have a 5-stack into one location, as everybody's 5-pointing for once.
Well,
And,
it's kind of a 5-point.
That's pseudo 5-point.
Yeah.
Let's call it a scuffed 5-point.
Yeah.
And I hope Codus notices he does not have items.
Uh-oh. That is not good, especially it's getting later and later as well, so
He has not noticed yet. Which
that
means
is
either this is a big play to try and come back with a... No, because then he'd buy a ruby crystal. So,
that's
yeah, he's in
unfortunate.
trouble.
Yeah,
that's gonna
'cause-
make a lane a bit rough.
It's not like he could just like spend the TP to get back in the lane. He has ignite. So
Oh boy. Yeah, this is really
Oh.
rough for him.
here we go.
Look at bot side. Peptic and Shifty looking for a bit of early play. Death Sentence in, already on. There's the autos with the Buster Shot.
Oh!
And there's Flash is able to live. 3 sums already burned from the side of Team Dom. Desky loses a lot of health there, but Shifty gets chunked down as well, with Josie mainly being the one alive. But that was Ignite for Flash, Heal, and Exhaust. Very much worth it. If they can ever get an engage again, they're going to be massively ahead. Lucky
Jesse's
for
basically
Desky,
back
he's got
healthy
ebb and
again.
flow to heal himself back up.
Yeah, he'll be fine. And actually, now Shifty is now in
Yeah,
a little
Shifty's
bit
like,
of.
wait a second, this was not worth it.
Yeah, they weren't able to get the kill. They expended the ignite. Yes, they get 3 subs in return, but Shifty actually burned through his pot while they just have free heals on the side of Team Dom.
Yeah, and they are still down below half health at the moment. Meanwhile, topside, like we said, we just see Hypnotic Scruff really just able to shut down Rat with that body slam. We do see first strike, so this may be an AP Gragas instead of the tank variant we're more like used to seeing. We'll have to wait and see, though, and really Codus here mid lane. We really see him struggling with this lack of an early item. It's rough on him at the moment.
It's gonna be rough until he's able to actually back at a safe time to actually get something. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some help from his jungler just to get him an
He
early
needs
reset.
Zebra to come help him. But look at topside. Scruff just beating down Rat. Was able to body slam that counter strike, walk out of it, and then just walk him down after a barrel roll. Josie dashes in with that relentless pursuit, able to get these passive autos off. Just get a bit of extra damage onto Shifty. And we see a little bit of advantage coming in because Josie still has 2 pots and a biscuit. Meanwhile, Shifty has nothing aside from his Doran's.
Yeah, it's basically
autos.
it's basically the reason why they were able to heal back up is because Nami's was able to heal back. They have a Thresh on the other side. Yes, they were almost able to kill Nami, but unfortunately, since it was more of an extended battle after the fact, Nami's able to heal up all the way. Jizuki was barely touched during that early skirmish, so they were totally fine. They have a lot of pots in their disposal. And now it looks like Shifty is more on the other side of the fight.
And we see Codus finally had to wave the white flag mid, take the back, grabs himself a tier, a sapphire, and 2 health pots, but he loses a massive wave mid under tower. Lucky's able to catch the second one before it crashes in, but topside, Menace is possibly looking to make something happen. Actually, he's just going for an invade.
The one good thing about that early play by Shifty and Peptic is that they were able to delay any aggressive plays by the Lucian Nami.
Absolutely.
And-
The fact that they don't have that exhaust and heal available means any combat sums are really rough to have. But Ignite is back up now for Peptic if they want to look for something during this small window where they don't have the sums from Lucian.
Yeah, we see the Udyr on the top side actually counter ganking or counter invading. So I wonder if they will meet in the jungle.
Hold
And
on,
they actually do.
Death lands here. Josuke meanwhile dashes in.
Oh,
Back,
wait a minute!
jumps in! The explosive charge lands on a Josuke, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, topside, Zebra's just running down Menace. And there is
and
Codus as
he will
well. And
unfortunately
it's
die.
looking rough, and look who's here to clean up,
Oh!
but it is Rat comes in and just yoinks the kill.
You know what's
Flash under tower, he gets death sentence! Josuke, no!
So a lot of things happened. One major thing that happened in the bot lane fight is that Peptic actually ignited What did he? Yeah, he invited Desky instead of Jizuki.
Yeah, and that's really rough because they were looking for that reduced healing and that extra damage, but Josuke just able to chunk through Shifty. The exhaust coming out was not enough, and Josuke still has it.
Not again.
Upside. Look who's back! Menace getting chunked down. Zebra trying to run him down, but a good body slam by Hypnotic Scruff is able to peel both of them off.
Yep, Scruff is actually out of mana. He's has enough for like one more body slam, but he will need to take it back. D1 Rat got a blue buff off that roam kill, and that is unfortunate because he was struggling in this lane, and now Scruff has to deal with the Jax that has a free kill.
Absolutely. A free kill is not what you want to see if you're Hypnotic Scruff. You were doing a great job of putting D1 Rat behind, and all of a sudden he's up in gold.
Yep. And in mid lane, yes, the early game definitely affected Codis, but Codis is going kind of aggressive.
Trading. Meanwhile, WX just trading back with this first strike and these rockets, able to poke out Codis a little bit, who is still at that point where he's only built mana, so does not have a lot of damage available.
Yeah, and
No, Jizuke has gone for that Dirk early for that extra laning power to just a double longsword of Shifty down bot side. We'll really have to see how that plays out.
yeah, and actually right now, I'm gonna call him Peptic, or not Peptic, Bird. I'm not gonna call him
Fair enough.
WXYJH243011.
I mean, if you want to call him that, more power to you.
Yeah, but he's actually very far ahead, and yes, it does, come from the fact that the early game didn't go too well for Codis because he didn't buy items. The big thing around the map, though, is the bot lane is still decently fine for Shifty and Peptic. The Lucian Nami lane hasn't gone totally nuclear yet.
Exactly. It's not at the, oh no, we can't walk up or else we lose 3/4 of our health yet. Now it's just, oh no, we can't take trades here. Like, Josuke's looking to walk up, dodges to the side with that relentless pursuit of the death sentence. He's able to just trade some autos out. Both junglers hovering around a lane. We see both looking at mid lane potentially, but with the fact that Bird's taking this back, not much going to come from it. And bot side, both happy to just farm up at the moment. 6 is now hit by Josuke, so he does have that culling available if he ever wants to go for a bit of extra damage. But we'll have to wait and see at the moment. TP coming in mid from Bird, coming back with a finished Lost Chapter, so he is going for that Missile Barrage poke style build. And Codis now back in lane as well with that Lost Chapter. It's going to be very nice for him to have.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. Once Codis is able to get a few more items or a little more help, he's going to be able to do a ton of damage, burst damage to this Corki.
Oh, absolutely. He started off rough, but as he's hit 6 and now will continue to scale from that, he's really going to have that damage.
Oh, this could actually be a kill. Oh,
Flash
close.
forced away, or else he would have gotten the knockback off that explosive cast. Good call from Rat there, knowing if he doesn't flash it, he's dead.
Yeah, definitely needed the flash there. If he didn't, spelled doom. He will lose some minions as this wave is going to crash. Scruff is going to pick up another plate, and the goal lead is actually going back in the favor of Scruff. He was able to basically take back anything. It's just a massive counter matchup that he's playing extremely well into.
Absolutely. And Zebra just topside taking his camps, getting a flag drag on the Scruff. Meanwhile, Menace, with the help of Bird and Hypnotic, is just going to take an easy potential Rift Herald. Just take an easy Herald. Gets that. Looking where to put it right now. And despite the advantage Josuke has down bot lane on this Lucian Nami, it's not too beneficial with the fact that the rest of the lanes are really having a rough.
Yeah, eventually, the mid lane might get kind of sketch for the Corki.
That sentence, though, lands on Desky. Unfortunately, Josuke did take that back and complete it. Means Desky is just running away as much as he can. Death sentence lands again. Ignite comes in for some reason to finish it off, and it's actually Peptic that picks up the kill. So, bad situation, yes, could have been worse.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, mid lane, though, flag drag onto Bird. Autos coming out. Conqueror is proc, looking to trade back. The Phosphorus Bomb Cataclysm comes in, but it is the Dragon Strike to take down Bird mid.
Yeah, just a little bit of too. They were
Death
waiting for
Sentence
the.
lands bot
oh,
lane on to Joski. Meanwhile, topside Body Slam is able to disengage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bird used the W to get out or go in a little bit aggressive and had to save the flash to wait for the Cataclysm, but the Cataclysm came in late as well planned by Zebra to make sure the kill is secured.
Rat dodging in, managed to hit by that explosive cast, just pretty damage. Flash Body Slam with the barrel roll. That's Hypnotic Scruff taking a solo kill topside.
Yep, and it was going to happen eventually. With how this lane was going, Scruff is now just dominating. And that's a massive gold lead.
Absolutely. Scruff is having a great time going with his AP Gragas. Has the last Lost Chapter finished, so likely going towards that Everfrost. We will have to wait and see. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, with that advantage, they're looking to potentially take this dragon here. Peptic Flash Death Sentence goes wide. Thanks for
Peptic was out for blood.
Flag into the pit by Zebra. He's possibly looking to steal this. Package comes over the wall by Bird.
Whoa!
Rocket hits, and Joski flayed in, jumped in by Tristana. Shifty picks up the kill thanks to the explosive charge, and the dragon goes the way of Team Toxin.
Yeah,
Beautiful
and
action from Bird.
just like that, Shifty picks up his kill of his own. And even though Delusion has about a 22 CS lead, it's about to be negated with how the kill that just was just given to Shifty. A lot of damage coming out from Bird.
Yeah, Bird is doing a ton of damage with this first strike, along with the package, and building towards that Ludens for extra damage on that missile barrage.
Yeah, a big thing to note, do you see how much damage Codus just did to Bird in the mid lane?
Decent.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Shifty.
Bubble goes wide.
Whoa!
Rocket jumps away from the dark package. The Buster Shot knocks him away, but it's caught by the Death Sentence to keep him from going anywhere.
If you ever heard of anti-synergy, that's anti-synergy.
Oh, there is the Everfrost to try and knock away the explosive cask is here, and here
Oh.
comes Menace running in with the Ram. Cataclysm is enough to disengage, forced to flash away as Phoenix and Eagle had been popped to do that extra burn from the Wingborn Storm. It is just going to not be enough, forces him away. Meanwhile, Hypnotic is in such a strong position here, really has kill threat wherever he wants. And like you mentioned, so much synergy happening there between the Tristana and the Thresh. The Buster Shot away with the Death Sentence coming back. The Rocket jump away with the
It basically forced Shifty to burn Flash.
Yep.
And I don't think you want this Zebra, because this could
I don't
end
think this is a 2v1 you can take.
awful.
Does decide to take the back. Gets caught by the Everfrost alongside a barrel roll. Hypnotic Scruff just chunking out D1 Rat.
Yep. And he's just going to be able to... Scruff is going to look for this kill.
He's looking for it again.
He's looking for this kill. Oh.
He's looking. Oh, Desky's there. He's trying to prevent it. Just trying to peel
almost
him
has his
off.
ult. Scruff has his ult.
Scruff does have ult. He's going to look for it. No flash available, but it is there. Barrel rolls to try and get him away. It looks like he's forcing both of them back topside. He's still in lane. He's going to take what he can.
Something that hasn't been mentioned yet. Look at this CS lead in the jungle.
Jesus. I understand Uder's a power farmer and Jarvan is not so much, but that still hurts. Actually, look at topside here. That's doing a nice thing and holding the lane for his top
We've been
laner,
watching
waiting for him to get
topside
back.
for like half the time because that's where all the action is.
Uh-oh. Look who did not leave, though. There's the cask into the Everfrost and the body slam. Doesn't even need anything else.
Man, Desky just wanted some farm. Supports need farm too.
Oh, the Relentless Pursuit forces out alongside the Gale Force thanks to a Flay to proc that Glacial Augment. Not enough for Joski to escape, though, as Peptic is able to lock down Josie enough for Shifty to pick up that kill.
Yeah, and right now, it looks like Team Toxin is now running away with it.
Absolutely.
The early, mishaps in bot lane seem to be going away. The CS lead is shrinking quickly, and that goes for both mid and bot lane on the opposite team. Codis is now able to get back a lot of CS.
Codis is back, but unfortunately, so is Shifty.
Yeah, so shifty, and the entire. Oh! I saw some blood in the eyes right there.
Yeah, we're looking for it. Peptic's low, but he don't care. He's looking for a death sentence, and he misses just shy. And yeah, unfortunately, well behind. Now, Shifty has so much advantage here. He's just taken that tower. Has a finished Kraken Slayer, going to be likely taking a base here. Double dagger in inventory, so likely grabbing those perks already. Let's see how things turn out. We do see that Divine Sunderer finished topside. D1 Rat really needs it if things have already been rough. Meanwhile, Herald popped mid here for Bird. Going to be able to finish off this tier 1 tower. Herald not even needed. So that means it's just an easy charge onto this tier 2 here as they just escort it in with a potential collapse coming in.
Deske was rubbing it. It looks like they have the cavalry here. They're just gonna let this charge in and just get a little damage off. Of course, there's no plate, so there's no
Zebra's in
reason
the
to
area,
stick around.
does have the flag grab available.
Oh!
On to Menace. There's autos coming in. Popped in.
Oh!
There is the Cataclysm. Followed up with a tidal wave. Menace drops, forces out the rocket jump from Shifty, who also popped the Buster Shot and the Exhaust.
Yeah, it looks like the package is ready as well. And unfortunately, Bird does not have their TP, so they'd be late to the party if they want to go back to get this package. But they do have total control of this Dragon Pit as Scruff roamed down here just to make sure that they don't get anything for free.
Rat, meanwhile, is still topside. They see him on this pink board right now. They know he is still headed top. Jungler has been down for the side of Toxin Squad for a little bit. Menace is back up now, so he is heading towards that area. It is pinged out. A lot of vision control in the area already for Toxin Squad.
Yep, and as a note, even though Menace's sobriety is 0-2, we all know what. Oh no.
Everfrost alone forces out the flash of
Yeah.
D1 Rat. As you notice, if he doesn't flash it, he's in trouble off the fact that explosive cast is a barrel rolls up, body slams up. Just so much damage coming out of this AP Gragas, who's building towards what I believe is a that's a Cosmic Drive.
Yeah, it's a Cosmic Drive. Just a lot more CDR. Ease up every half a second, basically.
Yep, just perma stopping Jax from engaging with that leap strike counter strike. Mid lane, Jax is back up topside, dives in with that leap strike as we'd mentioned, taking this fight, but Rat is not alone. Zebra is in the area, explosive cast comes out, flash, flag drag goes for it, Cataclysm is here, autos are coming out, the stopwatch is popped, but if it's not going to save you, Aqua
Oh, that's
Prism
a lot of
lands
gold.
nicely, and D1 Rat picks up a massive shutdown.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold going. Oh. Alright, so go
Ooh.
ahead and... You could probably disconnect and reconnect and spectate off of one of us. Okay.
I'll pause.
Okay.
We can pause. Hold on, is it just your game that's paused, or is also the audio that's paused?
Whoa!
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. What we just missed was Pick City, as Codus was caught, then Bird was caught, then Shifty was caught, and then a lot of Toxin Squad died. And yeah, now we're back.
Yeah, it's
And it was not around any objective, actually.
yeah, it's
But Codus may be in trouble here. Manages to Rift Walk away, is getting caught. I'm just realizing I'm on two speed, so I'm a bit ahead at the moment.
wow.
What time are you at,
Disgusting.
Bully?
I was like, what are you talking about? Which game am I watching? But yeah, a big thing to note is that the kills are even, except the gold lead is not. A lot of this gold lead is associated with the just CS difference. There's 2 dragons for the side of Team Toxin, so they still have a decent amount of. Oh. And now we're where the where Codus was getting caught.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Now I see it.
Haha,
We're living in
just
the
from
future, we're living in the past. I understand. But yeah, it's a lot of damage, a lot of CC. We can see the Everfrost just being a menace for Gragas, and Jizuki has to run away as he gets smited. But now he has to actually, Menace has to run away because he's getting caught.
Run, Menace.
Run.
Bully, what time are you at the moment? So I just know when to come back in because
I'm
I
at
was
2240.
2240. Okay, perfect.
But yeah,
All right, big fight mid. A lot of poke coming in, and Hypnotic Scruff again cleaning up as this Gragas.
yeah. A big thing to note is that in the fights that we missed, we see Jax picked up another kill, sitting at 3-1. D1 Rat is actually getting pretty strong. The unfortunate part about it is there's just too much CC for them to do a lot. And looks like Dragon will be taken by Team Toxin, putting them on Soul Point.
Absolutely. Ocean Soul, sorry, not Ocean Soul, Hextech Soul. Thank you, game. Yeah, Hextech Soul, big here, especially with all the poke that's potentially available. Such a strong soul overall. I like Hextech Soul.
It's an alright soul. It's a soul, but
I mean, a soul's better than no soul.
There's obviously better souls. I think the individual dragons are just pretty strong.
The individual dragons are pretty
The
strong.
individual like Hextech dragons, they're probably like one of the strongest. And then
Yeah.
the soul is whatever. But it's a soul. Soul is awesome. Soul wins championships.
Right now, bot side looking very nice for the side of Toxin Squad. Shifty and Peptic, 5-2-2, 4-0 and 4 respectively. In great position, and that means with this package up the bird, they're just gonna force onto this Baron.
They gotta be careful with how much shred they have. It's gonna be a big fight just because they have the package that's pretty much their saving grace.
There comes the title
wait
wave.
a minute.
Body's over with that, instantly blown up by that missile barrage. They're just gonna walk away, but the
great death sentence.
out of the flag and drag means they're able to get away. 3
Shifty
times
is just
walked
once
out.
more blood.
Otis on a Hypnotic Scruff, able to catch with that explosive cast. Menace running them down with this winged storm eagle form, diving on.
Wait, Shifty
caught
was
up with
taking
power.
aggro.
Block was not enough, and D1 Rat actually makes it out with his life and a kill. So they are able to take one Baron away, but it's a 4-for-1 in the end. Actually, no, they don't take a Baron
Baron's
away.
not even
Because
dead.
Baron wasn't finished.
Yeah. The big thing there is like Shifty wanted to commit, but Menace's sobriety was like, nah, I'm good. I'm leaving.
Yeah, we're fine here.
Yep,
yeah.
and it didn't take aggro, and then since it didn't take aggro, it just dropped to Shifty. Shifty took it and then died.
Desky tried to get a good engage there off the tidal wave, but it was not to be as a package right over. D1 Rat caught by that Everfrost. Flag with that Dragon Strike is able to shut down Bird a little bit. He's going to run away with the Valkyrie. A little bit of disruption prevents the backs at first, but everybody escapes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a flash for trying to stop a back.
Yeah, it's not worth.
They try to get the
Just a
kill,
little.
but it's kind of difficult to get the kill, especially when there's a couple ways a Corki can get out, especially with the flash up. The Cataclysm wouldn't hold him in for long enough to probably kill him.
Yep.
The Valkyrie would probably be the first.
Desky had a good try with the engage, but the Valkyrie from Bird was too much to handle, and then Peptic had a great death sentence to interrupt the flag drag escape out of Zebra, which which proc the Glacial Augment, which kind of got that fight going with the slow zone, and Hypnotic Scruff with that Explosive Cask, just able to CC enough to get some extra kills. Great Baron control coming out of Team Toxin.
Yeah, we're looking at Soul in about 2 minutes. The control on the bot side is the main factor right now. They're looking to get as much vision. Oh,
Zebra flag drag in here, flayed away. In comes the tidal wave though, into the Aqua Prism. Menace is caught, able to lock down, but there comes the Dark Passage. The culling is coming out. Flag drag again comes in. Shifty's just being autoed. Cataclysm comes in, takes down Peptic, but Zebra himself will fall. D1 Rat tries to come in, but Menace is able to just run away. It is a 1-for-1 in the end. Jungle.
oh, that's a flank
The TP
TP
is coming
in.
from behind, and there's Hypnotic Scruff. But Joski realizes only one way to go is forward. D1 Rat trying to come in, not able to get this damage done. The Maw is popped. It is not enough, though. Auto comes in from the Empower. He falls as well. There's the body slam bot side as Hypnotic Scruff takes down Desky. That is 4 down for the side of Team Dom.
Yep.
Codis is the last man standing.
And since Codis was matching Scruff on the top side, Scruff has a TP, Codis did not. So it means Codis cannot join the fight while Scruff had
Look
the
at this,
perfect
running
flank.
down, forces out the flash as well as the Rift Walk. Flash in by Shifty is able to pick up the auto for the kill onto Codis. As another kill going into Shifty. 9, 3, and 5 this game. 3 completed items, has the PD and the IE alongside that Kraken Slayer.
Yeah,
Dragon,
and,
as you mentioned, spawning in 30 seconds. This is an easy peel back for the side of Toxin Squad to grab themselves the Hex Texel.
Yeah, with Dragon coming up, 20 seconds, it's all but over at this point. The main factor is if they're going to try to go for this Dragon, it has to be a steal. It can't be like a 5v5 like.
Now, this has to be a
Eight.
Zebra Miracle
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. Oh.
And it looks like they know that because they're not letting that happen. Desky picked off by the Explosive Cast into the Everfrost just to lock him down from the barrel roll. Meanwhile, Menace in this Dragon Pit already, just trying to burn it down and secure themselves. The Hextech Soul looks like nothing's going to come of it. Zebra already had backed off and gone to his topside camp, so that's Hextech Soul going over to Toxin Squad.
Yeah, we saw in the last fight, major fight, where D1 Rat wasn't able to stick on anybody, right? Just too much movement speed, too much ways of just, or mobility in terms of everyone on the side of Team Toxin. And I don't know what's up with Spectator, but it just took me out of game.
I believe I know what that is, and I believe that means we may have an end to this game very soon. But yeah, we are still in game here, 29 minutes in, and just farming out. No real objectives on the map. Hextech Soul has been claimed. Baron not up for another 2 minutes. This looks like the side of Team Dom just trying to farm it out and survive.
Yeah, it's Hextech Soul is gonna make it very. Oh no! I want to see if
Not
Scruff tries a
Caught
1v1.
a little bit. There's a
Right.
rocket comes in, chunks Jizuke, and just with that Hextech slow, just even more deadly to deal with. And it looks like they're trying to collapse on something here. At least they're thinking of backing up. Oh, Menace just running into all 4 without a care
Menace?
in the world.
It doesn't. Oh whoa!
Jizuke, though, maybe even more reckless as he just relentless pursuits into the middle of them. Rat
Yeah.
trying to run down Peptic, not much going to come from it, though. This may be a collapse, though, topside onto Shifty as D1 Rat is in the area. Buster Shot, flash in to avoid the Buster Shot away. Massive Buster Shot gets rid of all 3, and the Dark Passage away with a Blast Cone. Shifty escapes while the 3-men bot side take the base.
Yeah, and that's. Oh no, Desky.
Cask catches Desky into the Everfrost. That is a Nami that's become fish food.
Yeah.
And now this
Desky.
is just sieging away at this base.
Desky's unfortunately not that tanky, and will basically get one shot with one Mega Rocket from the Corki. The
Yeah,
big
Mega
one.
Rocket, Explosive Cask, whatever you want. If you hit
Yeah.
her with something that's got a lot of AP, she's gonna explode.
Yeah, right now sitting on 1 and about half item, while the support counterpart is sitting on basically a full build. It's
Gold lead right now is 12.5 1,000 gold. No towers taken. No dragons taken. Nothing for the side of Team Dom right now, except for 12 kills. You gotta think they're in desperate times right now, as Team Toxin is just trying to strangle them out. Baron now on the board. They're already around it, getting set up to take it.
Yeah, a big problem with having the Team Dom is they wanted to play like kind of like the split, right? They wanted to go like a 1-3-1. They had a very strong duo bot lane champion in terms of Lucian Nami, and they had the Kassadin and Jax. Unfortunately for the Jax, they got countered with the playing against a Gragas, and then mid lane they fell a little bit too behind early because of just unfortunate events. So they were never able to actually create their own game plan. They weren't able to get any room to make their plays, and eventually they just slowly bled out.
Yep. Koda's chunked there by a missile barrage. Not much coming in. We do see Bird with his package ready. They want to siege into this. One minion is alive still. Aqua Prism catches Menace, but it's not going to do much. They're forging in, taking this inhibitor. They're going to look for games here. All 5 stacked, all 5. Minion wave coming in, package available. They're onto the top tower right now, chunking this down. There goes the only engage they have. In comes the tidal wave. Zebra goes in, lands in the Cataclysm. Rat jumps in with the counter-strike as well. Not able to take anybody down. Meanwhile, Shifty just ripping through this team. Ripping through with that rapid fire.
Oh, Desi's the last one.
He's the last man alive. Landed
never
only
mind.
by a death sentence with a barrel roll.
Oh, that
Team
was-
Toxin
Who took the
taking
penta?
game.
Who took the penta?
Who did take the penta? I believe it was Gragas.
Oh, come on.
But in the
yeah.
end, Quadra kill comes in for Shifty. Hypnotic Scruff steals the penta. Unfortunate to see it, but very convincing win here by Team Toxin. They finished the day out 2-1. Scruff, meanwhile, at 1-2. We don't know the result of the other game. Well, Bully might, but we can expect it went a certain way.
Someone definitely won, and someone definitely lost. I'll tell you that much.
Indeed.
But let's take a look. Looks like the team of. All right, take a guess.
I'm gonna take a wild guess here. Say that maybe Team Holy Carrot won.
No, Team Fallen won.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Team
What?
Fallen won.
Well, all right then. Forget what I was saying. Team Holy Carrot and Team Toxin finished the day at 2-1. Team Fallen and Team Dawn, meanwhile, respectively, at 1-2, which means we have no winless teams and no undefeated teams left at the end of our first day of Scouting Grounds. I'm calling that a bit of a surprise in the other game, but you know what? What do I know? But yeah,
Now-
looking at how things turned out, Bully, who do you think's our MVP for this game?
I think it's gonna be Shifty. I think he was able to get back pretty easily. I think Scruff did a really good job holding the top side, making plays, but Shifty was ultimately putting down the insane DPS and was able to. The main thing is like they were able to stop any bleeding of how aggressive this Lucian Nami lane is, and eventually they were able to take over the game with their own damage. So they basically made Lucian Nami almost worthless.
Absolutely. I was going to give it to Hypnotic Scruff until Hypnotic Scruff stole the penta. So yes,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. It has to be Shifty here. After a rough start, coming back to 13-3-6, leading the team in damage. Such a stellar performance in both games we've seen of him on stream. Turned out very well. You cannot give Shifty his Tristana. He's shown both games has been very dangerous. And Peptic had some great plays on that Thresh. Some amazing death sentences. Dark passages to get all of his team out of danger wherever they were. Well played all around. Josuke had a good start to the game, unfortunately was not able to transition that. And D1 Rat unfortunately felt what it was like to be hard countered top lane.
Yeah, and you know what? If they won, they get another chance to redeem themselves because it is a double round robin, and Saturday is when they get another chance to play against the same people. And of course, if you're 1-2, you definitely need to have a good set of games. If you're 2-1, if you win 2 on Saturday, you're pretty much in.
Yeah, so every team really now still alive, very much so. They got a couple days to regroup before Saturday comes about, where they play everybody again until Sunday comes about, where their final matchup occurs. So really, it'll be interesting to see how the teams take what they've learned from today, what they've experienced, who they played, who they thought was good, who they thought they can work more with, and kind of improve to give another showing come scouting ground.
Yeah, and I can't wait. It was a very interesting day, and hopefully tomorrow is as action-packed as Plat was. We will be live with Gold Scouting Grounds. It's a slightly different format because we have 8 teams instead of 4. So if you do poorly day 1, then we won't see you day 2.
You do poorly day 1, we're not going to see you again. But yeah,
Yep, pretty
definitely
much.
fun matchup overall. We'll be right back here, same time as tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I don't know who's on that in terms of casting.
So far, I guess me.
All right then.
So, I'd probably have to find somebody else to cast with me. I wish I could
Well,
take
you
the day
know I
off,
have no
but-
life, so if you ever need anybody, just let me know.
Hey,
So
if you
there's
want
a
to do
chance
it,
we see both of us back here again tomorrow. Yep, that is the end of day 1 of our Platinum Scouting Grounds. Shoutouts go to everybody basically grabbing a win in the end. Holy Carrot and Toxin both coming out 2-1. Fallen and Dom at 1-2. Everybody still has their hopes alive come day 2. Thank you all for coming out and joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure. We hope to see you again come tomorrow night for Gold, and the night after that for IBS. We got
Yeah,
a lot of
and,
action coming up.
yeah, I just wanted to say, let's see, I think Big Angry Hobo, I saw you sub earlier, so thank you for that. Definitely helps BOL, so thank you for the support.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Everybody for stopping by. Everybody for giving your support. We love having you. We love having you watch. Blue Otter League is starting up its next season soon, so make sure you get those games in when rank starts tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you all around, and hopefully we see you all tomorrow night. Remember to buy your Blue Otter keychain, and remember to give us a sub. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.